We on. That's what it is. All right.
These are like, no, I'm not gonna say it. Nothing.
Go
Hey
ahead and say
guys,
it. I
hello.
can't
Welcome to the
stand.
show today. We are here live because I love to prove Rashawn to be a liar. So he said we weren't coming back. So bitch, we back. We back.
Oh,
Hello.
we ain't back. This is a pop up.
This is a pop
But
up.
So question. I meant to ask you before I hit the live button. Did you want it on the camera? Like, 'cause we had that discussion and you weren't committed.
Oh, it's my channel. It can't relate on here.
I didn't put it on there. I put it in a comment, but you only responded to part of my. I put like 3 sentences in a message to you, and you only responded to one of the 3.
Because I don't be knowing the login, child. I don't know how to. I'll have to. I have to figure.
I didn't know if you even wanted it or if you even cared. So that was.
I would have been cool with it if it was already there. I was like, oh, it's already here. If it was already here, I'd be like, go ahead and add it. But I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know the login, so.
Yeah, it ain't gotta be logged into, but that's all. It's up to you. Nah.
Oh, let me do it. Hold on. Let me see.
So there.
It is on here. Why you stay lying?
I didn't say it wasn't on here. I said it is on here. I mean, it's not on this stream.
It's no, but I mean, like, is it already? It was already. Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's yeah. Okay, I took it as you meant on the stream
because I thought I was gonna have to log in and stuff. Okay,
got you.
There we go. Okay. Now we're live over there. Great, amazing.
There you go. First stream over there. How long?
We don't. We're. I'm a timeless being.
Like a year.
I identify as a timeless being. So when you try to make me say timelines, it makes me feel oppressed.
I mean, what doesn't make a woman feel oppressed in 2025?
Well, that'll roll us into the conversation we're having today about oppression. Right. So I did a fashion show. Right. I've been playing Dress to Impress, first of all. But also, I did a fashion show on Sunday for my clothing brand. And so I kind of be hanging out in the streets. I be outside. I've been, I go do stuff for my brand or whatever. I designed a purse, blah, blah, blah. So I did a fashion show and it was great. It was fun. I didn't want to do it. I was bullied into it. And I'm glad I was bullied into it in the best way. Yeah, real oppression. This little tiny Korean lady was like, you need to do it. So I did it. Ooh. And so we did the fashion show. It was great. It was fun. I met a lot of cool people. And then I had a conversation with a stylist. It was a stylist I was speaking to after the show. And I was kind of, we did a Q&A with a designer. So myself, another designer who does cosplays, and another designer who's also a YouTuber, we all did a Q&A. So people were asking us questions. And then after, the stylist came over to my booth and we were having a conversation about styling pieces. And so I was kind of telling her how, like, with my brand, I make pieces that you cannot be perceived in as much as you can, like, be perceived in. And I know people hear that and be like, what is this weird woo language? Like, I know, but they understood it immediately, which was great.
Wow.
That was great because they were like, yes, like, I know what you mean. I don't want to be perceived all the time. So we started talking about how we would style it if
they held space for you. They held space for the idea.
We held space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity. But we went into how we would style the shirt if we wanted to be perceived versus if we didn't. And then we also had a conversation about, are fashion pieces inherently saying I want to be perceived when you wear them? Or can they be for not being perceived? And so we had that whole conversation and it was great. Okay. And I felt seen. So I'm going to pause there so that any questions.
Felt seen but not perceived.
Right. Yeah. They're different. Okay. They are different.
Okay.
So this is the part where I paused my explanation of how this conversation came up and allow y'all to antagonize me.
Okay. Go ahead, Yellow. I'll allow you to start while I collect
Yellow
my thoughts.
Start the antagonization train.
I don't even understand what perceived mean in this context.
Okay, there you go. So that's the first. That would be called a question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can we get some music? It's just
let me put it in the form of a question. What the hell does perceived mean in this context?
Can I change it without changing all the backgrounds?
The music? Yeah, you just
no. Can I like? That's what it means.
Right.
That's what it means. You don't have music on here. It's just really quiet. It's really disturbing. But so to be perceived, you said what does not being perceived mean, or to be perceived?
What does perceived mean in this context?
In this context. So kind of what we were saying was like when you go outside, I think y'all can understand it, but when you go outside, like sometimes you don't want to be talked to, approached, like noticed. Like you just kind of want to blend in. It's almost like blending in, just disappearing into the background. And the reason we were talking about it was because most people would say, well, if you're a fashion person, the reason you put the stuff on is because you want people to notice you. You want to be seen. You don't want to blend in. And so that was kind of like the conversation, how she was saying, well, fashion inherently means you want to be perceived. You want people to notice you when you go out. And I was saying that's not necessarily true. Like you can put something on because you just want to put something on. And it's not about the outside world. Versus sometimes I may wear a statement piece that I know is going to get attention. And I expect people to probably say, oh, where'd you get that shirt? That's great. Because it's so unique. And I know people have never seen it before. And I know somebody's going to pull me to the side and say, where you get that shirt? Or I really like that shirt. Or blah, blah, blah.
So for me, the language is evasive. The seen and perceived, because like those are, for me, vague terms that are interpretive. Like they can mean the same thing, or like you're saying, they can mean something totally different. So for me, it feels like clothing that brings me attention, clothing that brings its own attention, or clothing that holds no attention.
I would say that's.
But I don't know which. Okay, but I don't know which words apply to what.
So being perceived is like, okay, so like I would say as men, I think Black men specifically go through being perceived. And kind of maybe you have moments where you wouldn't want to be. Like Yella talks about being so tall and big that like when he comes in the room, he can't blend in.
Right.
Unless maybe he walked in a room full of big niggas and then it'd be like, man, I am not special today. And that is great.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
You know? So it would be kind of like that. And oftentimes as women, there's an inherent built-in like weight of you want to be approached or you want to be talked to. So I'm sure like men have their own version of that, but I know for us a lot of times it's like if she goes outside and she's put together or dressed a certain way, she wants attention. And sometimes you don't want attention. Sometimes you just want to grocery shop and you also like pink, or you also like Jujutsu Kaisen, or you also like whatever you decided to put on.
Okay.
And that's when I'm saying I don't want to be perceived.
So you want to have on an outfit that will draw attention, but you don't want the attention.
Well, and that's what I think that's the nuance. Because for me, there are outfits that I know will draw attention, and I will not wear those if I don't want to be perceived.
Okay.
But then there's just like okay, I have a lot of crop tops in my store.
Okay.
How I style the crop top will determine that, because I know crop tops show your midriff.
Right.
So depending on what height the waistband of my pants are at, you gonna see more skin. If I show more skin, I think more men are probably gonna start trying to talk to me. Or if the pants are more fitted versus if they're so baggy, or if like I wear a heel, like a stacked heel versus like Crocs, you know.
Right.
So yeah, I think the same piece doesn't necessarily mean the piece. I don't think the piece inherently means you want attention, and I think that's what the stylist was thinking. A crop top does not mean I want attention. It's more how I style the crop top.
I can get that.
Because there are outfits I wear that my husband absolutely hates.
Yeah.
He'd be like, you look like you got swallowed up by the clothes monster.
Yeah. I mean, because sometimes the Speedo means I'm just going to swim.
Right.
But sometimes if somebody in a bikini they're being sexy. Or swimsuit competition. Like the context of how you, I kind of see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's still like a little soupy.
It's a little soupy, but I think some people don't consider context though. They just be like, oh, it's a woman outside. Let me go talk to her.
Their skin, I need to be in. Right.
Yeah. And which is this very jarring for me when I go into neutral environments, and that's when I start calling people creeps. Then we start rolling into that idea. That's when you become a creep to me. Like, I'm in a neutral environment. We ain't here for that. I'm not giving you any signs that I'm here for that. And you come over here acting like there's something about me that invited that. It's it's emotionally, it's like emotional whiplash. For me.
No, I get you.
It's certain environments, not all environments, but like really nerdy environments, like super nerdy environment. Like, we are here being weird as fuck. Everybody has come here in their weirdest clothes. We talking about niche stuff. We're getting super into we nerding out, and here you come. I ain't even looked at your ass. Here you come. That's when you become a creep to me. Hey, OG Patrice.
What's up, OG?
Like, I literally had a guy tell me, I can't wait for the Sailor Moon Magical Girl Day because I'm looking for a girlfriend.
Oh, okay. So is it just the sexual connotation? Is that the sole context where this is problematic? Or is it just any type of attention? Is it just the sexual attention?
It depends. Cause I would say any type of attention is more of my moody thing. That's a more me thing. I'm just moody. Sometimes I just don't want nobody to say shit to me.
Cat
and that's
energy.
That's not their fault. So it's really a problem with sexual. But some days I want to be invisible because I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a woman. I don't want nobody saying nothing to me some days. I don't want them kids asking me for nothing. Because I don't know why. Maybe I'm autistic. I don't know why. But just want to be invisible some days.
I mean, that makes sense though. Like, when you add all those extra factors into it, being a mom first, like, you gotta hear mom, mommy, mother, mom, hey, birthing, hey, somebody, I see this video. Shorty saved his mom and his phone at Spawn Point.
See,
hilarious. Hilarious.
I like it.
So you hear that all day, and it's like everybody's
touching you all day.
Yeah, that physical kind of contact, and then I can understand that part.
Yeah. Everybody always wants something when they see you walking in the room.
Being a utility, you don't want to just be a utility, a walking utility.
I mean, I know that when I walk in the room, everybody hungry now. That one thing that they've been ignoring all day, now it's going to be my problem. The cuddles, everybody want them. It's like, I be trying to be ducked off. I hate it. Hate it. I love it, but I hate it. So yes, it could be specific to me just because I am in such high demand.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on the mother wife side. Is it because you can't control when the other person wants those things?
Yeah.
It's like spontaneous. You can't okay, this person wants cuddles now, and I really just don't feel like it now.
No, because then you're terrible if you be like, get off me.
Right. I mean, you are, but
I mean, I am. Because now I'm standoffish and you're rejecting because men's egos. God forbid you reject a man when he wants to touch you. You don't want me to touch you. So yeah, it's like I'm terrible.
Ramses.
I'm terrible. Like I have accepted the crown of terribleness.
Is this going to be the rest of our relationship? Because I just, you said no, I can't touch you. You don't want me to touch you. I'm literally just sick and rode 2 hours to work, 2 hours from work, and I just thought, maybe I could not have a hug for 15 minutes. But is this? I just want to know if this it's going to be the entire marriage. If I really need to touch you, I just need to
get some Vicks and
you know what I'm saying?
I hate that nigga. And then he hugged her. He hugged her.
Not even just a hug. No, then he encapsulated her,
consumed her in a hug.
Yes,
right.
Hug.
That was hilarious.
Which made my
with a sharp knife in her hand. I'd have turned around and jabbed him in the thigh.
But honestly, though, people, and that was the crazy thing about it. Like for me, watching people react to that as if that's not the reality for most women was crazy to me. Because in a lot of ways, that is reality, even if it's unspoken. Ramsey just spoke it. But a lot of men act like that.
Yeah, he said the quiet part out loud.
He said the quiet part out loud. And a lot of men act like that. Like you are there for them.
I get that. It's I think a lot of us have I hate to call it thirst, but there's a dryness of like that's the only way that we feel we can connect.
Yeah, because y'all ain't letting us in,
Right.
For
so
mine folks.
Yeah. It's not safe. So that's a safe place. We can always overpower and back away. If we want to back away, we can always push away. Right. So I think that's our safe place to connect. And so it's hard for us not to want to push for that. So I get it, but it doesn't speak to y'all's need of space sometimes. Sometimes y'all need space.
And sometimes a woman who wants space is seen as like something wrong with her.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of men still perceive that women who love you or in relationship with you want to be up under you, under your skin, in your skin.
So many of y'all do.
Because so many women do. Yeah. So I wouldn't say that it's a completely like off base assessment.
Unfounded, yeah.
But those women are also needy and codependent.
Fair.
In my opinion.
I agree. And terrorists.
I mean, I got a little terrorism in me. Even though I'm not
different kind of terrorism.
Again, people, if it's not what you want, that doesn't make it bad.
It's not, and that's why I say codependent. I've established that codependency for me is not necessarily a bad thing. I know needy women. Who am I to say it's bad? There are men who maybe want that level of neediness because it reassures them and they like to feel wanted in that way. I mean, I'm just not a needy woman. I'm not like I'm very.
It doesn't suit you.
No, I can just be over here. I'm not gonna go cheat on you. I'll just be chilling. Like I don't take you not being in my face as rejection.
Yeah.
So that's just not how I am.
Okay.
So yeah. So I think the not wanting to be perceived thing is hopefully a little bit more clear.
I don't think I'm ever going to be able to fully grasp it. Like I think it's the man-woman thing. Like because I don't have a history of experiencing it. I haven't felt it. So I guess like even trying to analogize it to other zones, like when I become the man in the room, oh, he's useful. Oh, he can get that thing off the top shelf. Oh, he can open this.
Mm-hmm.
I've become numb to that. It's annoying.
It's annoying.
It's annoying. But I never feel unsafe, which I know y'all's is paired with unsafety and a lack of, insecurity, unsafety, your lack of safety, whatever. As a threat to your perception. Nobody perceives men as like, oh, let me grab him and take him off somewhere. So I never fear I can't dress a certain way because somebody may want to take me somewhere.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, mine is almost the opposite. I have to dress so I'm not a threat. You know what I'm saying? I have to tone
it's the same but opposite. Like dressing to not
Mm-hmm.
trigger the perception that it triggers people to engage with you away that you ain't trying to get. Like this is a not being perceived outfit. What I have on today. Like y'all can't see the whole thing, but my hair is not out. I have no makeup on. My shirt is huge and up to my neck. Like, and nothing matches.
And it's still about 32 niggas that'll come talk to you.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it's inherent, right? So it's kind of like not stacking. Because there's just built-in stuff. Like, where I'm always going to be black, you're always going to be a woman. Like, there's just some stuff you just like that. Like he's saying, you just, it's built in. It's like Elphaba. Yeah, like I'm Elphaba. I'm green. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead and ask the question.
Yes, I've been like this my whole life.
Yes. But honestly, like I love Wicked. I love that speech Elphaba gave because that's kind of how I have to be when I'm like engaging in kawaii subculture or some subcultures I engage in, like anime. Like, yes, I've watched anime my whole life. Yes, I know what One Piece is. Yes, I do this even when no one's watching. No, this is not for male attention. Like, I have to go through the whole list.
Yeah.
So, but she did that twice in the movie.
Yeah.
The first time she did it was valid. The second time she did it was uncalled for.
Yeah.
Because she felt like she had to do it, and everybody
she already knew. She's like, "Oh, I know what this is." Because I think it was something he did, and she was like, "Oh, I know what's happening here." And she was like, "Let me go ahead into my speech."
It was with the prince. Yeah, it was with the prince. He was like, "Can nobody ask
His
you?"
His answers were great. He's like, "I'm deeply shallow." I loved it.
Nobody ask you that?
Yeah. But it's a defense mechanism because you're just so used to people perceiving you away. So that's what I mean. Like, I think if I use Elphaba, maybe the idea of not being perceived, like, is kind of even better. Like, I think Elphaba was so used to trying to blend in that she like the whole Glendification thing, like being bigger and cute style. Like, why would I want to do that when I'm already trying to disappear anyway?
I'm trying to subdue my presence.
Right.
Yeah.
So
okay. So from what I've gathered, there seems to be really just a problem with the type of perception from the type of person. Right? There's this avoidance of being perceived by men. If I don't want to be perceived by men, there's avoidance of being perceived by basically the negative part, right? The opposite part of what you're trying to get. But I don't think that there's an exact avoidance of perception, because if somebody came and validated that feeling, i.e. y'all having that conversation with the stylist, then that's a perception that's being perceived in a way that you choose to be perceived. So it's not necessarily wanting to not be. It's
the interactions that come from the negative. Because someone perceiving me and having their own thoughts about me don't bother me. I don't care, whatever. Right. But it's the interactions that are gonna follow the perception.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where I have my hard time of completely empathizing with it, especially when it come to women, because there's this thing of, we don't want to be perceived by men, but have no problem being perceived by women in that same way, like in the same vein. So like if a man gives you a compliment on how that outfit looked, you become like so standoffish. But a woman complimenting that same outfit in a more hyper, more exaggerated way tends to make you feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's almost the reaction you want to get. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I think that's why I think it's like sexual safety. I think that's like the cool.
Right.
That's been coming up a lot lately.
Yeah, and I think.
Sorry, I'm back. Okay. Sorry, the kids are all calling me. They having a Roblox session, so they trying to pull me into the
press.
Right. Or we finna play. They want to play baddies probably. But what was I about to say? So if a woman I think there's compliments, because I've gotten compliments from men that I definitely feel like are very like harmless, and I can tell. Hey, Rico. I've had men, because I wear a lot of anime stuff. I'm always in anime clothes, so I get a lot of men who be like, "Oh, what you know about that Jujutsu Kaisen?" They'll say something like, "Who you fucking with, Gojo?" That's cool. Like that stuff don't bother me, because I can tell from the energy that they really just
the attention is going to the piece.
Yeah, it's not really about like, let me use that, let me leverage that to, because then there's those guys that like, oh, you like anime, and then they try to leverage it to like more.
I mean,
which is normal. That's why I was like, I'm not saying none of this is problematic.
You won't let me hit you with that domain expansion,
right?
Because you would like you either look for, like, as a guy approaching a woman, you either look for something relatable,
right,
or something spontaneous.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying inherently guys hitting on women. This is just about me as the person who goes
the woman's
out.
feeling, the feeling of the woman.
Yeah, and I don't want to be perceived that day. That's why it's annoying. Like Rashawn, it's annoying. So some days I will go out and dress so that there is try to do as little doubt as possible that I want to be approached.
Nah, I feel.
Like, what about me look like I wanted you to come talk?
Man, that's some people's fashion, and they think they look good, but they don't understand that they're dressing to repulse people. Like the way you dress
what
is
I gotta do? Put on a pussy hat? Dye my hair pink?
No, because it's like, see, and here's where I sit with the fashion thing, because you're in this industry, right? You're going to fashion shows, you're seeing the higher level of just normal everyday fashion,
right?
But some people try to replicate that in real life. Like I watch some people, like, okay, for example, like the ladies who love to layer.
Oh, I'm a layer girl.
Like those extreme layers though, like a tutu over a skirt that's over some jeans with
that's like Lolies or Decora girls. Yeah, that's like a subculture of fashion.
So screw her and all those crazy stupid.
But they're not, and that's the thing. They're not doing it for.
I don't care who they're doing it for.
It's not a body. It's an Anya hat from an anime. But that's what I'm saying. They not doing it to be. And when I say perceive, that's why it's not literal. You can't take it literal, like, because you're gonna be perceived. To be perceived is to be seen with someone's eyeballs. So I'm not saying it in a literal context.
Right.
But like she wants to be perceived by the Lolies and the Decora girls and the Harajuku lovers, you know, and that's who that's for. So to say, I hate that look, that's fine. You can hate it because it's not for you.
Yeah. Right. But if I do like it and I approach you with that, it's like, oh my God, no matter how I dress, they gonna come talk to you. So it's like the way you want to be perceived is cool, and I get that. But sometimes you gonna get perceived however you are.
When there's all the built-in, there's a built-in, you're still a woman. If you have a certain level of attractiveness, yes, that part is like a thing. But I do feel like if someone engages with the Harajuku culture and they come up to you dressed that way, they're going to have a whole different conversation with you than someone who's trying to just find an end to talk to you. And that's kind of what the whole idea of being perceived is pretty much grounded in, that idea of like, am I open to approach for this, or am I open to approach for the niche in which I'm clearly showing that I'm cool with?
Yeah, you definitely can't come out in an aesthetic that is, like you said, Harajuku. Oh yeah, like jarring, like revealing. Like, let's just call it what it is.
Oh, if I go out jarring, then I'm making a statement. That's why I say there's statement pieces, and then there's like, I'm not making a statement with this piece. I'm just putting on this t-shirt I like today. Putting on the full lowly aesthetic, putting on a full lowly cord or a Harajuku Decora outfit is a statement. So you not leaving the house to me in that full getup and not expecting,
not looking to be.
You're gonna get attention. It's an attention grabbing. That's the whole point of it, actually. Not sexual attention, but it's the whole point is to get attention, to make a statement.
I mean, I get it in my own way, because being part of like wrestling culture,
right?
You know what I'm saying? I see a shirt or a hat or a keychain, like I'm gonna perceive you in a certain type of way, like anything that resembles that. Yeah,
one of us. And you may go up to them and be like, and say something that's like very niche that only they would understand as the fan. And even as how you dress, you wear wrestling t-shirts. But if you wanted to raise it up, like if you went to a wrestling event, I'm sure you could level up
cosplay. It would turn to a full-on cosplay. Yeah,
you might have, and that's the same idea with kawaii. There's like me wearing a pink hat.
Levels of it.
Right, versus the full thing. I'm probably gonna say that for an event. I'm not gonna go to the grocery store like that.
Yeah. Okay. So there's like reference pieces, then there's statement pieces, then there's like regalia, like
regalia, right? Cosplay,
right.
Basically. Yeah, we've basically just called that cosplay when you want to just actually be the person.
Yeah, you're embodying it fully, and like you're welcome to all conversations that come up. Whether somebody be like, "What the fuck you got going?" I mean, I'm expecting all of that.
You basically set up the booth of perception, like perceive me. Please, you come here, right? You come here, perceive me.
You went over there.
Yeah, say the thing.
You see this,
right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, sometimes you do want to be perceived. I do want to be perceived sometimes. That's cool.
All right. What about this question, Brie? But do we have to weigh how we look in comfort versus how others perceive how we dress? And is the greater burden on the dresser or the observer?
I'm trying to figure out what is. Do we have to weigh how we look in comfort versus how others perceive? What is that?
I'll tell you how I interpreted that. Now, Rico, you can clarify that for yourself. But how I read that is Like I may feel comfortable. Like I'm gonna put myself in like baddie. I'm a woman and I want to dress like a baddie. I got on a short skirt, pumps, and I'm just going to the grocery store. I want to be sexy. I'm comfortable like that. I am comfortable. As the woman, I'm comfortable like that. But other people automatically assume I want sexual attention. But I just like the way this looks. I like the way it feels. It feels as close to being naked as I can. I'm one of the women. I just like to be naked, but I can't be naked in public. So I'm gonna wear as little as possible, as clingy as possible, just so I feel as close to that as possible. Just all for me and my comfort. Now that's still going to get a reaction from people. Y'all are still gonna be following me down the bread aisle.
But she's still fully embodying it. And I think anytime you move into fully embodying an aesthetic, you're gonna be perceived.
Right. But
versus if she might have just had on the Skims leggings versus like with a t-shirt, she probably wouldn't be.
But is the burden of that on the wearer or the watcher? Like who has to police themselves to not?
Oh yeah, I'm always gonna say it's up to you. It's up to you can only control what you can control. Like once again, I can't. Like Yella said, it don't matter what you put on. You go out looking dusty, and some niggas still gonna talk to you. I mean, it's not a full control thing, but there's also enough life experience to know if I go out with a girl skirt, thigh high tights,
let's go
with the high heel Mary Janes, and tie my shirt with my belly out. The niggas,
it's a wrap. It's
gonna chase me to my car. I'm probably gonna have to be in the risk.
Baby.
Right.
Yeah,
so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend me leaving the house like that is the same as me leaving the house like this, dressed like one of the kids next door. Let's not even pretend.
White cop kids, shows up school all black with the long black coat, looking like the next school shooter. Yeah, so you do have a look at that. I remember when I was working at JCPenney, this dude, they were calling him school shooter. Every time he came in, they would call him school shooter.
Because it's an aesthetic now.
He was comfortable.
But because then it was the Matrix thing. Like when the Matrix came out, because I think that was around the same time. They was like inspired by the Matrix. So it's like, well, shit, I like the Matrix. Now I got to be.
Because I was just thinking about that. There's so much of a difference between the Matrix look and the school shooter. Why
there is?
Well, because the first one I think was inspired by the Matrix.
It was the same.
He wore that because he liked the Matrix, and it was like the waking up. So he actually was inspired by it. So it's become the cosplay for that. But he was cosplaying a movie he likes.
Yeah.
He probably just didn't have the money to make it look cool.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have was not.
It wasn't right. It wasn't. It wasn't a fitted leather jacket.
Was it the Army Navy store, Army Navy surplus store? He went there to shop as opposed to the Hollywood fashion.
Yeah, he didn't have a costume.
Not the Salvation Army. It was just dusty.
Turtleneck. Yeah.
So he probably didn't have the martial arts skills to make it look cool. So I mean, there is a balance. I'm never gonna say, it's people who you can't control job to control how you feel. And despite my best efforts to not be perceived, I'm always gonna be perceived. But then I mean I won't try. So they come out with the invisibility cloak.
That's classic. Yeah. Man, listen, people gonna be bumping into women all the time if they come out with invisibility clothes. You just gonna
y'all will never.
We just gonna learn to say excuse me, miss.
Right.
We just gonna have to say excuse me, miss every time we bump into something.
I'm gonna be a floating
head. If they wearing it though, you'll never know. Cause they head be on a swivel. They know how to avoid touching people. They will be.
You rarely bump into
you rarely bump into a woman. I rarely bump into women. I mostly bump into guys walking in the store. Yeah, real talk. Unless it's in the car. Like unless it's a car accident. Like it's just walking and just bumping into people.
You ain't bumping into no woman.
I bump into women all the time. It just happened.
Well, me, I don't bump into women.
Yeah. Because out here, it might be location. Out here, they don't pay attention. So there might be out here, they might feel more safe just traversing. So their heads are down almost all the time.
Yeah, at events and stuff I do, like tight, of course at events, but generally speaking, like in a grocery store, I'm never gonna bump into somebody. Most normal stuff, a perfect balance. But so I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying to not be perceived.
I get it.
But it also takes a certain awareness of how things are perceived to be able to navigate that. Because I do know, whether I like it or not, some things are perceived sexually. And if I don't want to be bothered, I should not do those things. That's not to say if somebody takes it too far, it's my fault. But
Absolutely.
I also understand that, like,
you're participating in a social dynamic.
Right. I'm part of it.
Yeah, because that's when they get weird for, I think, men. Because then we hear the stuff like, we not dressing like this for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We don't do this for the male gaze. You know,
I love the male gaze, female gaze conversation. It's like one of my favorites.
Yeah. And not the male gaze, the male gaze. Okay.
Even though we love the girls.
Yeah.
Which we were talking about as a part of this too, Yellow. You missed. It was like why women like hanging around gay men sometimes. Because it's like it gives you that feeling of not being perceived in the context I'm talking about.
Yeah. They ain't trying to smash. I get it.
Yeah, because I know even if I dress sexy and go out with Twan, he's not sitting with me at the movie thinking about how he gonna fuck me when we get home.
Yeah.
Like it's nice. It's nice. It's just really nice to know there isn't this like expectation waiting at the end of an enjoyable experience with a person.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's a burden.
I can see that. Oh. Man.
See, it's tiring. Look, that told me everything I needed to know.
Yeah. I've had to live that life as a guy, you know what I'm saying, where women just want to, throw themselves at you and you're like, no, I'm not.
I really don't want to today.
Yeah, I'm not a piece of meat. I mean, I am, but I'm not.
They could be tough.
He said it could be tough. Y'all, are y'all being facetious right now? Because I hate y'all.
No, I'm being dead ass serious. No, I'm being dead ass serious.
So lately, no, I'm not being serious at all. But in my past, that's been a thing. I've had that problem.
I am.
It kind of sometimes it's a damper on a situation to know, like to feel. And this could be a feeling. It may not be reality, but just feeling like someone's going through an experience with you for the payoff at the end of like that. Because some men in relationships do that. They simply just tolerate things so that they can cash in their get some puss tonight coin in, and it's just like,
I'm
like, you don't want to go. You don't have to go.
That's part of the social contract, but it's also. This is a complaint from that side. That's a good reason. But I'll just say, just real quick complaint. It's like when I was out here, the whole thing. Like if you do say no to a woman, I hate the fact that you got to be gay. Like, are you gay? Like that.
I don't like that. That
annoys me. Yeah, I quit. Yeah.
You'd be like, dang, I couldn't have just enjoyed your company and you know not trying to be on that time. Like,
that's crazy.
Look, it's Lois. We can't scare her away. We got to behave.
Hello.
Yes. That's my mom. So yes, I hate that feeling because even in a relationship, I think that's something men in relationships also struggle. Yes, you may be gay. Ooh, dang, that's harsh. But you can feel that sometimes in a relationship that the man you're in a relationship with is simply tolerate. And I think it is a sign of love to tolerate things that your partner enjoys because you love them. Like it could be simply that you love them.
Yes.
But some people are just doing it so they can make sure they keep their spot in the bed. That's
fair. And it's hard to differentiate. It's hard to. I would even say it's hard for the person, like the person that's doing that behavior, to know that that's their motivation, because it's kind of like it's become a chemical.
It's so baked in.
Yeah, it's become a chemical reward system. Well, if I do this, I get this, but I don't even think about it. It's just natural. So,
like, what is like if you're doing it for love, then what is the catalyst for the love that you got for that person,
right?
That's making you do that. So it's gonna reach around to why
hard
reach around.
I mean, it might
but
be.
Then that opens the door into like that's the other thing about the being perceived of like that's part of I think because you were asking me specifically why it bothers me so much to be perceived because I don't see a lot of things the way most people see it. So it's annoying when I'm perceived because a lot of people move in a pre-scripted behavior pattern based on what they think the perception of me wants. If that makes sense. I don't know if I said that.
No, re-say that again.
So sometimes I know based on how a person perceives me, they moved in a pre-scripted way.
Okay.
Based on what they've perceived me to want or be.
Yeah. I mean, because once they get cued a certain way, so they project based on what they they've interpreted you as a certain thing, and they behave that way, but you're not that way. I remember we had the whole thing with the kawaii. You know, like they thought it was that whole fetish thing or kink thing, and I was like, no.
Are you on some kind of kink? You dressing for a kink?
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, so they'll behave in that lane, but you're not there. But they've already
start engaging with you more sexual, or if they have shame related to it, they will treat you badly.
I get it. Yeah.
And you like, nigga, this is just some cat ears off Amazon. You don't even see my body. Like, I got on a t-shirt. I have a full t-shirt. I had a high neck, box cut, streetwear t-shirt on. There's no other cues for that. You didn't see nothing on me that cued you that way. You just decided we fetish land. We doing BDSM out here. That's weird. That's when I start calling people creeps.
Anything other than normal is fetish. Or some crazy shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She don't want nothing but overalls.
And that's cool, but that makes sense though. Dressing for what you do the most in life, I mean, it would be a good indicator. And I think that's something that we do. We practice a lot of, when I know a long time ago, I talked about everybody manipulates. Like a lot of times we fashion ourselves in an aspirational way for things that we're not. For things that we don't do, for things that we don't like we look like we spend money that we don't, so we get fake stuff, and people think, oh, they got money, and like he was really a broke dude, but he got all this fancy stuff. Like we do a lot of queuing to signal and signify things that aren't a part of our real life.
Sad existence to me. I really would have to just love a piece so much because it fits my wardrobe. Like me being me, I would get a fake, but only it's because like I really want this piece and I ain't got the money for it, and it really would fit really well with something else. But I know there are people out there who will buy fake stuff simply to give off money that they don't have. Yeah. So I just feel like that's really a sad existence.
I mean, but it's the status symbols.
Yeah, like I'm going to say, what's his name? Chad Johnson said he used to do that. Yeah, he was in the NFL with millions, but he said he would go to Claire's and buy the little glass shit. They got, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just buy the cheap brands you like. I'm talking about buying a fake. I'm talking about buying a fake.
It was for like this. Yeah, it was for investments. Now hold on. Now, hey, you buy what you can afford.
But buy what you can afford.
Yeah.
Like I would buy a fake Gucci purse if it was just like a special kawaii edition one that I just cannot afford and I wanted it.
If it was right. I
wouldn't buy a fake.
Yeah. And I'm saying that to say like people live their lives like that. Not just I like this piece. They make a habit of buying fake brands like to have a look of richness or you know.
The scammer outfit. Me and Yellow be talking about.
Yeah, I'm finna say that's basically what up, Haley?
Hey, Haley.
That's basically all the stuff on Temu.
Yeah.
You can get a bunch of stuff on Temu, and that should look like you scam cards and IDs and stealing people's accounts, and you got a Cash App scam going right now. Send me your Cash App. I'll send you $2,500.
I do want to go into like because the name is who do women fashion themselves, men or women or themselves.
Yeah.
I want to know what y'all think majority. Let's start with the majority because you know people like to get weird when you start with specificity. So, do you think the average woman fashions herself for men, whether consciously or subconsciously, women or really truly herself? And y'all too in the chat. What y'all think? Majority. That'd be 80%. Let's say 75 to 80%. Go ahead, yo.
This question. I'll go ahead, yo.
I say yeah.
Yeah, what? Which one does she fashion herself? Which one does she fashion herself more for?
I thought you said men. My
men,
bad.
women, or themselves. That's what the name of the stream is.
Men and themselves. I don't think it's so much for women.
Okay.
I don't think it's so much for women. It's it can be in a way, but I think themselves might come first and then men. It's like a close second. You know what I'm saying? Now if you finna be around the girls or something like that, or if you finna go hang out and kick it, I can understand dressing for the girls.
That's kind of what Haley seemed to be saying. Like if I'm who I'm hanging with is who I dress for.
Right. But if I'm thinking like on a day in, day out basis, I would think that most people either like Rashawn saying, most people fashion themselves for the perception they want. And 9 times out of 10, we want a certain perception for a partner. You know what I'm saying? Or friends. Now that could either be a friend or that could be a sexual partner. But like I said, I wear
other. You think it's so? You saying you think mostly it's for some other human?
It's for
because you can't even see yourself. I always say that you can't even see yourself for real.
Yeah. The only reason I say yourself is because you got to actually feel comfortable. It's on your body, so it's got to fit right. You know what I'm saying? It's got to fit you in a certain way where you can feel comfortable in it. But that might be first. But
like beyond comfortability. Like be in the fashion, the aesthetic sense, like beyond comfortability. Like you think it's more for other people, the aesthetic itself.
Yeah, the aesthetic itself, yeah, absolutely. And especially if we starting to talk about some of the specific aesthetics, because that's where the other side of the coin is. It's like chicks come out with the IG aesthetic and then be like, I don't want to be sexualized. I don't want men looking at me like that. It was like, okay,
let's go.
Well, look, what you want us to do, man? What you want us to do, man? You can have cheeks out.
Because there's
I'm just going about my day. Here you go.
There's a male gaze aspect. There's a heavy male part built into baddie aesthetic. I was saying that to Rashawn. Like there's certain aesthetics that inherently include men, whether they're there or not. Baddie aesthetic is one of those. Because of the very idea of what a baddie is.
It's being bad to men.
Before there was Baddies, the show where women are in the house fighting each other. That's not where baddies came from. So before that, a bad bitch, like a woman who was attracted to men, was a baddie. So of course, built into the baddie aesthetic is the male gaze.
Yeah.
So I can't really get behind a woman wearing the baddie aesthetic and saying she don't want male attention, because in its very inception, it's the male gaze.
And even if it's not as exaggerated as the baddie aesthetic, whoever made the decision in the fashion world to eliminate the natural gene from the female, like the daily female attire, where they just wearing like the leggings or basically tights with a t-shirt on it.
Yep.
Like, come on, man. You out here. Yeah. I appreciate whoever made that call. Because somewhere along the line, jeans and just regular
jeans and a shirt,
got eliminated, and the tights and the leggings became like the daily pant to slide on. Yeah. And even if it's jogging pant, it's still a little tight. I mean, hey,
I have no idea.
There's still that. You know what I'm saying? Like you still, if I could see the seam of the crack in your butt, like if you know what I'm saying, because I'm gonna be straight up with you. Some of these asses be huge walking around in these tights, and that should be looking good. I'm looking. I am.
They sell. Now they have wrinkles on the butt and the extra booty magnifying.
That ain't. I'm not even finna even talk about that, because that's just dumb. That's just dumb, right? We ain't even finna go and talk about it. Right? If you bought the TikTok leggings,
the TikTok leggings.
Yeah. If you bought the TikTok leggings, or if you bought some shit that's supposed to grip and shape and lift, and then you talking about I don't want to be sexualized, then get the leggings that don't got all that. Get you some regular jogging pants.
Yeah.
Because if you come in with all the design, the only thing that don't got design is where the cheeks is. That's the only thing they ain't got. All the design is pointing that way. Like, all of the lines. Right. Think about it, right? Because you understand design and stuff, right? You know how you put stuff together.
They got the everything is right there.
It'll ultimately draw your eye to a certain place, right? Yeah. All the lines, all the forms, all the shit go into that one place.
Yeah, nice pleat, nice gathering, ruching.
Even like the cell phone pockets, right? Like that cell phone pocket could be a little lower down on the thigh, but it's right here. Like it's right there on the hip.
That's a good reach spot.
But it also gives a little a little curve on that hip. Yeah,
look, put some pads in there. You can put little pad in there.
You slide your phone in there. Now you looking like you a little thick now. Right, and they pad them pockets a little bit too.
Before Yella goes down the rabbit hole of the leggings he loves, Rashawn, what is your answer to the question?
Man, so he was having a fetish moment. You know, there was something he liked, and ain't nothing wrong with that. And I feel you. I do think there is a thing, and it's really hard to delineate. Like, we don't have language for it, and we can't clearly perceive the lines, even in our own selves. Like, because we know, everybody knows. Like, we just talked about school shooter. We know that when we see it, and we know that they're not trying to be attractive to person. Like, they're not looking for attention from women. Typically, and there are types of women that we know when we see them. When we say incel or femcel, we know that they either can't or won't fashion themselves for the sexual attention of other people. And as soon as we see it, we know. We had the whole thing about the women with the big glasses, with the print, and the big bright red lip
calling me
and the locks. Yeah. We had that with the black women, and we know dudes that are like that have. We know as soon as we see them, like, okay, they have no interest. Or they have no ability to look forward. So we know that that's a thing.
Right.
So when people are fashioning themselves for attention, they are doing it with some kind of intention.
Yeah.
But then within that,
and it's speaking to something inside of them.
It's speaking to something. There's something they're looking for, because there are people that don't do it. So if you do it, there's a reason. And out of the reasons, I think it's like a hierarchy. So are you trying to get men? I think it's one, because people do want to have sex. People do want to have mates and partners. So there is that. Are you trying to
attract whoever you're attracted to? Right.
Yeah. Sometimes you are trying to get validation. You don't even want the person. You just want the validation of feeling like I'm worth it. I've still got it. I've heard that before. Even when you're older.
Sexual marketplace value.
I've still got it. I don't want it. I don't want to do anything with it. I just want to know that I still got it, that I'm still attracted. You know what I'm saying? I keep my confidence up. I got my currency still. Then there's people who just want to get the benefits. They want the access. So I don't really care about feeling good. I know I feel good, but I want that job. I want that promotion. I want that free drink. It might be I just want that free drink or something, like whatever. I'm going to leverage that for benefits for my life. And then there's also
Joy Taylor.
Then there's also the people who socially, like, when they say that I'm doing it for other women, like the competition amongst women, like there are people that talk about like all my friends are baddies, or all my friends look good, or I'm in the pretty girl group. Mm-hmm. So I want the attention of men so that I know I fit in socially with these people that I admire. So there's all those layers. I think there's layers to it, and it's hard to tell who's doing it for which reason the most. It would be hard for me to pull it out. You can kind of, if you know somebody, you can kind of tell why they're doing it.
Yeah, you can kind of tell.
But you have to know them to see what they're doing.
Yeah. Because there is like a whole subset of like wearing trending looks, regardless of if they're male centered or female centered, to fit in with your girlfriend group. Like Rico was saying, his wife wears Skims all the time, but it's really for her work friends, because that's people, what everybody wear, and they like to talk about each other's bodies. Like, so even within the women's culture, there are those things that you fashion yourself to fit in with the group socially. Mm-hmm. But then it's not about men, even if it's something men like, even if it's something that appeals to men, it's completely
using the male gaze to sort yourself socially.
Right.
That's how the hierarchy is. Who's most attractive to men? We're not trying to get the men necessarily, but how like attractive you are to men. Yeah, how attractive you are to men set your value. Like, this is what this is the group I'm in. I'm highly desirable. I should never have to buy a drink. I should never have to wait in line. You know, so I've heard people say things. I should never have to.
Do I look like I pay 50-50?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Do I look like somebody that pays 50-50?
I love that for you, girl, but do I look that way? Said it to another woman, I think.
Yeah, Angel said it to Angel Reese.
Yeah, said it to another woman.
Who says that? Travis Kelce. How do you look like what you pay? You can pay whatever you want because you're an adult. It's the weirdest thing, but that's the mindset. Some people think that value translates to I shouldn't have, like, entitlement. Some people think beauty translates to entitlement.
Yeah, because people like, like they say, pretty privilege, or what your attractiveness can leverage you. People like attractive people, even if it's not even in a sexual.
Absolutely.
You pleasant to be around. You're nice to look at. Yep. Smell nice. People like to be around.
It has benefits. It's a real thing.
You muted.
They've done studies.
Oh, I think
it's done. It's done real things, and it's even biblical. Like when they talked about somebody was they look goodly or good.
Oh yeah, because Sarah was hot. Yeah. That's how Abraham got his money.
Yeah,
they was scamming the Pharaoh because she was a baddie.
And Jacob worked 14 years instead of 7 because he wanted the pretty one. Because he wanted the pretty one. So, I mean, it goes back so far. That's thousands and thousands of years that people have been having this issue of chasing beauty. So
on a side note, since we're talking about wanting to be perceived, I do think obviously you're always going to be perceived by someone, because even when I was saying if I wear an anime t-shirt, I'm going to be perceived by an anime fan, and they're going to that's I'm saying these people, you know, colored only sign or like anime fans only. I mean, that's kind of what you're kind of doing with an aesthetic that you pick. If you don't want to be sexually, you know, pursued or talked to, you're basically putting up a sign of who's allowed in the club today.
Yeah.
So there are different aesthetics. I know Yellow was talking about his favorite, the cat eye glasses and the red lip.
Yeah, with the locks.
And I be laughing because when I went to get my new shade and my new frames, I was like, these cat eyes calling me. The closer I get to 40, they be calling. I don't know what it is. It's something about DNA. I don't know if it's because your face gets wider as you get older, so the cat eye frames help. Because, you know, if the frames are too small, it make your face look fatter. So I don't know if it's just a weight thing and the cat eye frames just hit right when you're getting old. My 15-year-old had to pop my hand to keep me from putting on these cat eye shades. No, you're not putting them on.
I was gonna say when I was playing the Dress to Impress game with you, and it was we had to do the mean girl look.
Mm-hmm.
I used the cat eye glasses.
Why? Y'all did see that?
Because
it's but them auntie shades glasses though. They're auntie.
Yeah, but they also the rich auntie feminist kind of. That's the auntie ain't had no man. Every man she been with has been bad.
Yeah.
That lady who said she hated being a mom had on cat eye glasses on that Coriel show.
That's the lady who's taking PrEP and she ain't had sex in 8 years.
Yep. Yep, sure was.
Because she got this weird disposition on me, and like those, it's yeah.
So what are some like? Because I also want to know this for myself when I'm trying not to be perceived. I need to know what to put on. So what are some of the aesthetics that are like blaring signs of leave me alone, or this woman here is either like Yellow's like that's the feminazi. You got the cat eye glasses with the red lip with the natural short teeny weeny afro. You also do have the Seattle version of feminazis, which is the pussy hats, pink hair with the dark rim glasses, you know, or the Karen haircut or shaved side with short hair. That's the Seattle version of that aesthetic. So, and in the chat, if y'all know some, so it's funny because this stuff is all interlinked. You don't just dress how you want. Like, even though I'm in fashion, I'm still very aware of like, I don't want to dress in certain aesthetics, which is why I told my, do not let me buy no cat eye glasses. I know I'm gonna try to. Don't let me do it. It's a slide. Mm-hmm. It's a slide. And I don't want to go down the slide. So don't let me even start. So go ahead.
That face that I be talking about. The I date white men face.
I mean, stuff that you can control, like
but you can't though. Hold on, because it's a specific thing they do with their makeup.
Okay, it's the makeup look. Okay, so let's.
Yeah, it's hard.
So it's that
they don't blend. They don't blend anything.
It's that contour. It's that look of contour where their nose is real thin. It's the contour where the nose is like contour. Real thin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, where the lips kind of thin out just a little bit. They start to try their. It's almost like it's hard because they're trying to soften some of the features they don't like.
They're trying to change them, I would think. You talking about heavy contour, and basically it's trying to give you a different face shape.
Yeah. They're trying to get away from that.
Okay.
It's like we see that black girl under there. We want to appreciate her.
We see that black girl under there. I know exactly what you're talking about. So it's more like TV makeup almost. Mm-hmm. Like the Real Housewife makeup.
Fox News,
Real Housewife makeup. I'm assuming you talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Seeing that in the daily Like I see that every now and then in the daily, kind of moving around.
Yeah.
And just be like, why?
For normal black dudes, will leave that alone. But
yeah,
Laughing this comment. I'm sorry.
But the white dudes though.
He said when they look like one of them cats. I'm sorry. Yes, he's so real. I would say Real Housewife makeup, real TV, because on TV, you know, with the lights you get washed out. That contouring always had a point, but that has trickled down into people wearing it to go to the grocery store, and it's very harsh.
It is harsh and dramatic.
He said harsh. He said wear anything that says live, laugh, love.
Ooh.
Yeah, again, and see, here's what I was gonna say. Because like men are men. The thing is, you're going to attract some man. So that's the thing. So yeah, you're going to attract some man. It's just which man do you not want to attract? So now we're talking about anti-wear, like anti-dressing. So like, what do you want to avoid? So to know how to dress, we need to know what are you trying to avoid.
Y'all.
But you're never going to avoid y'all.
As many of y'all.
I don't know how they avoid white men. That's kind of where I was from. I only know how they avoid black.
I'm not taking notes. Get a live, laugh, love shirt.
The most
eyeglasses.
You can avoid the most of us by looking like your hygiene is terrible.
Well, I don't want to have bad hygiene.
Well, you don't have to have bad hygiene.
The second you take a shower, it's over with.
Yeah, it's over. You got a little lotion on. Like, she smells kind of nice.
Now you going overboard. I'd see lotion is ashy. Don't matter.
Clean. Again, no, you're right. Because then the people who already don't have good hygiene, they're going to be attracted. There's no way. You just need to pick what you want.
Just like even when I was saying, you're going to be perceived. Like you're always going to be perceived. So when we talk about it, it's like what. And even in this conversation, what aesthetic do you see that you instantly like? Because that's part of being perceived, just to prove the point of what I'm saying. Obviously, everything we're saying about these aesthetics are not true, right? Just because a woman has on cat eye glasses, she may not be what you think she is. She may just like them because she has a wide face, like me. So obviously, whatever we're saying is not gospel and it's not true, and everybody doesn't fit. But this is just a fun activity to prove what I'm saying. That you see certain combos of things and you just say, "Oh, I know what she on," or "I know what he on." We could do men aesthetic. Y'all got some choice aesthetics too, you know. So that's kind of what we're going through. Like, which one? Which some of the ones you see a lot. Like you said, the Real Housewife aesthetic, he sees a lot. You see that out, especially I live in Atlanta, so we definitely see it outside a lot. Yeah, if whoever they want fashion or not, anyone's called. Yep, exactly. So we're having a nuanced conversation, kind of like about it all.
Okay, another one that definitely comes to this own perception. That damn big ass side part with like the 30-inch. Bust down that if your baby
that like deep side part
and if your baby hairs come down to your eyebrows, fam,
listen,
because so like said, some of y'all be out here with edges and some of y'all be out here with Adam Copeland's. Now they be out here with just cope. You change the name to just cope. They be some of y'all out here with just cope. Oh my God, they be so thin though, like they be so thin, like the full there's this happy medium, right, with the baby hairs. It's this happy medium where it looks just good if it's just coming off the, like, because if you 40 and your baby hair still come down that far, me and you need to have a talk, because you lying. I know you lying. Not as much you can damage. I
saw a woman on TikTok say you could tell the age by how far down the baby hairs go. Generally, as we get old, we do less baby hairage.
Yeah. But then it be the ones that actually look like, you know how the dudes linings be. It be them, and I know they fake because they all look the same. Don't they come on like this? I think I seen they come on like this little strip.
Some of them, but if you get if you got edges, you can do a good way.
They come on a strip. I seen them. They come on a strip, nigga. They look like the tattoo you put on the kids that you hold the towel on.
They do have those.
You put it on their head. You put it on their head.
They have fake edges now.
Well,
Why
I
you
think
they walk around with them bands on all
for
day?
women who got alopecia, or some women lose their edges if they wear braids a lot and stuff. So it's kind of made for that. Yeah. But of course, you know, anything made for good can obviously be used for people who don't need it. Now it's just
obviously. Yeah. That's crazy.
Good. Just spread them out a little bit. Move them back. They shouldn't
Once
be
again,
like.
But that's one of them aesthetics that's for us. It's not for y'all.
Yeah.
Because I don't think no man anywhere be like, well,
asking
with the baby hair out.
Yeah. I want your eyelashes to meet your edges, like at your eyebrow. Like I want to like
it is. But I think it is though, because they fashion themselves after the women who got the men that they want, their ideal man.
I think that's a very limited way of looking at it. I think it's more so you may think that they're doing it because the women have the men they want, but then sometimes the women just admire that woman. And it's not necessarily just the man she may have. It may be like just the whole life she has. And even if that life isn't because of the man, it's more of an admiration for that woman. So I think to say it's because of the man she has is a little limited. It's a little short-sighted.
I mean, I can agree with that. It's part of it. It's part of the thing.
It's indirect.
Like there's an influencer I love, Chrissy. She is so funny to me. It's her and her husband Desmond. She makes content. I love Chrissy. And one of the reasons she's so funny and she does like pranks with her husband. So I love some of the stuff Chrissy wears, but it's not because of Desmond. It's just a part of like her life, but I just absolutely love her. So if I were to fashion myself after Chrissy, to say that it would, you know, because of her man, it would be very short-sighted because it's not what it's really about.
Yeah.
Right. I guess in a way that is what I'm saying. If I could say it another way, it's like they almost act like it's not going to attract those type of men. You know what I'm saying? So it's part of what's going on. I get that, but ultimately that's kind of what goes along with it. Because if they didn't think it was attractive, they also wouldn't do it.
Right.
Okay, well, I engage in subcultures. They definitely wear things that they know
can't tell them it ain't right. It sure can't tell them it ain't ugly.
I mean, well, I think once again, the only reason I pushed back was because of some of the subcultures I engaged in specifically wear things that they know are not appealing to the male gaze, and they don't give a fuck, and they know y'all hate it, and they still do it anyway. So. Yeah, you're talking about a different subset. I get.
And there's dudes that like it too, so I can't really say too much on the ladies with that one. It's guys that like it, but it's a certain type.
I don't think any guys looking at like a Gato girl, for instance, and being like, "Oh, that's such hot makeup." Like I just,
you're gonna have to tell us what the hell that
I'll pull up a picture.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm like,
I'm gonna pull up.
But no, I'm talking about even the just okay. Because when I'm talking about them edges come with a particular. They do come with a particular attitude.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's part of a certain aesthetic that you. Once again, I think that's why aesthetics matter, because the baby hairs is a part of baddie aesthetic. So you're still talking about a very male centric aesthetic when you're talking about that. So yes. I get it, but that's still part of bad. I would file it over with more of a baddie aesthetic, or if you want to do hood, more of a hood rat. If we go back to the 90s, like they was doing it with the finger wave kind of edges, so that's still kind of in a very black subculture or baddie aesthetic. If you're talking about more modern times, so I still wouldn't use it as a good argument because it still falls under that.
Yeah, I'm a bro.
I'm only using what I got.
Okay, I'm gonna show you a picture. Let's talk about, because I know Yella knows the baddie aesthetic very good, because don't let him lie. He was on Roblox playing Dress to Impress with me, which is a fashion dress up game. All Yella looks was baddie look. Yo, girls ain't never had no pants on.
They did have.
She didn't have pants on once.
They did. I did one look with a jean with a really high boot.
Oh yeah, or she had on pleasers. Okay, this is just so you can see.
Festival. Oh.
Yes, wow.
Oh, yeah, that's wild.
Exactly.
That is good point. Yeah. So
that's different.
I mean, hey,
it's different.
Look, if it come out right, you catch me on the right day.
Well,
come
if
out
a
right.
person is attractive, the thing you have to remember, a conventionally attractive person can put on a lot of stuff and you can still see that they're attractive. They have attractive bone structure. Mm-hmm. They're photogenic. Attractiveness cannot usually be hidden unless you're Bill Skarsgård or whatever, who like to play weird characters like It and Nosferatu. Yeah. But, you know, yeah. So, I mean, again, an attractive person is going to be attractive. But I'm just saying that is an example of an aesthetic where they're like, there is nothing in that aesthetic that says.
Yeah. You know what it looks like? Back in, there was a guy, George something. I can't remember this dude's name. And there was a woman that was just like I can't remember. Somebody older might remember this dude. He always had a tan, and eventually his hair went white.
Yeah.
And then there was a lady that looked just like her.
And that's actually like, and that's
commercial. He was on the chip commercial.
And that's funny because that's actually like what inspires it. It's inspired by that super over tan, bleached, light lips, but bleached tan skin with the sunblock. That's kind of what inspires the God girl aesthetic. It's over tan, bleach blonde hair, super light lips. So that's actually what inspires the look. Yeah,
George something, and then there was a woman. She was in a movie once, and I was like, oh my God.
Yella said, if you catch me on the right day. Yella is like, look.
Yeah. There's 365 days. One of them's the right day.
One of them's the
right day.
The day runs across you.
One of them.
Right day.
Even if it's the leap year. Even if
it's
4 years. February 29th.
Might be your day.
And actually that's okay with me because once again, that's just baked into it. But once again, I do think when we're talking about aesthetics, I just want aesthetics to be respected. If you see a woman outside like that, she did not wake up with the top thing on her list being to attract the attention of men.
Absolutely not.
So can we not pretend that is what she did? And then sometimes even like, I don't want to make it only a male thing because I think I told Rashawn when we were having a conversation, like sometimes it's the toxic aunties too. I don't want them to perceive me either. Or the boomer woman who go to church who says demonic. I don't want her perceiving me either. It's not always men.
Look, I love past hell.
Right. It's not always men. So I don't want to make
40. I'm about to be.
I'm 40. I've been trying to be 40 for like 3 years.
Right.
You know? So I don't want them to perceive me either. So it's not always just the man thing. I didn't want to add that in because I ain't want to make sense. Like it was just them. It's not always a sex thing. It's just like.
But I think that's the undertone of it. Like even if it's not a sex thing, there's sex under. Like because like the women are saying, I'm trying to protect her from sexualization, or I want to make sure she's not sexualizing and tempting me. Like I've seen it in church, I've seen it in social settings. There's a sexual layer underneath all of it. Because if sexuality wasn't introduced, people wouldn't so be high strung about it. In every scenario, it's like whether it's sexual competition. Like every time there's some layer of sexuality when there's that auntie energy.
That's the only reason I don't want to wear the glasses.
Sexualize yourself.
I'm become an auntie.
Yeah,
trying to carve out a new auntie space. That's not the cat eye glasses. Yeah, not the cat eye glasses auntie who kind of maybe never really liked men for real. She kind of just. Yeah. She just perpetually single for the rest of her days. Yeah. You know, I'm trying to avoid that whole thing, but you know, it kind of calls. Any other aesthetics? It do be earned.
I mean, men.
I'm trying to think of men aesthetics. I'm trying to think of some y'all weirded out.
We earned our problem status.
I think the only aesthetic that I know men have is like I just know he gonna stink when I walk up on him. That is definitely one of them.
You mean the dude? What
does that look like?
He looks like he is an elder mage, top level. That I ain't got no lining since.
Oh, you talking about like Dungeons? Like he played Dungeons and Dragons too much.
That's where I put the incel thing for me. But that's
it's kind of an incel. There's two brands of it. Well, there's a guy who just probably worked really hard, so he funky. They don't bother.
Body odor.
Like
Okay.
Body. Yeah. But there's it's something about the seat of the pants, like how the seat, not the seat, the front of the pants droop. It's a droop. I don't know how to explain it. I just know when I see it, because I feel like it takes a certain level of like, you have to have abandoned all of life's beauties to leave the house with an unflattering seat of your pants. Yeah, it's like it's even for women. If I see a woman and her pants sagging weird in the front, it's
I kind of agree. Like, cause we used to say like somebody gave up. Like you can tell when somebody gave up by the way they dress. We used they used to be how people talked about it. So I can see that.
It's something
for incels. Oh, they ain't even trying.
Yeah, it's just something about it, and it's like it's sweatpants in particular. Because I know like King, he loves sweatpants. Like he wears sweatpants. He lost a bunch of weight. He had went on a deployment. He lost weight, so the pants was just kind of not fitting right. You just a little too much bagginess in the front in the seat. I was like, you can't wear those. You either gotta gain some weight.
You almost get that little ducktail in the back.
Yeah, like
really right. Yeah.
You got to either gain about 8 pounds or throw them away. Because if I see you in them, I'm repulsed.
Yeah.
You just stink to me. Like you may not actually smell. You're just gonna smell to me. It's just something about it. I don't know. That's just one I see.
Yeah. And see, Nova, where I would disagree with you, like dressing for somebody is for their benefit. So if you're trying to avoid them, you're not dressing for them. You're dressing for yourself at that point. Like if you're camouflaging yourself to hide from somebody, it's not for them, it's to hide from them.
Yeah. For versus from. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can understand you saying it's still other people centric. I mean, that's true.
They're still centered, yes. Hiding from somebody is still centered. Yeah,
they're still centered. But
because if the army was dressing for themselves, they would be wrapped in American flags. It would be red, white, blue stripes.
But out here like Captain America.
USA
looking like Olympic.
So they have to censor who they're fighting, but then
because I think being perceived is not about not being other people centric, because I can get it, but it's more about do you want to dress for them? Because I do think sometimes women do get up and dress for other people, like Haley was saying. Like if I'm going out with my husband, I'm gonna want to be attracted to him. If I'm going out with my friends, I want to get that compliment, like, oh, you look cute. I want to get that little dopamine rush of my girlfriends telling me I ate them up. You ate the girls up. That is like, I need men to start saying that more. Like it's something about somebody saying you ate the girls up. It's just like a dopamine.
You want men to be less attractive.
It's just I don't really care. I just want to hear it because it's just such a compliment. It's just something about it. I don't know. Just saying. It's internet speak.
Yeah.
You gonna sound gay. I'm not gonna hold you. You're gonna sound gay.
But it's saying that you were the top status in your peer group. You know what I'm saying? So it's that social validation. So that's still.
I don't know if it's like it's a hierarchy thing, because I don't know. It's just women talk about how sometimes men will say, "Oh, she don't dress up for me, but she dressed up for her girlfriends."
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna ask you.
I know. I already knew it was coming. What you was gonna ask?
Now that was that question. I mean, because like Rico said it about his wife. How do you feel about that? Because that's a real thing. It does happen where people start putting more impressionable energy outward.
I can't tell you how to not do that because I'm one of them people. Okay. If I'm going out with my girls, Twan, y'all know I be going out with Twan. I go out with Shot Cute. I be trying to be cute because I know they're gonna compliment me. I want that little compliment.
So a hubby day, you don't put in the same.
He don't get. He's the quiet. He's the strong, silent type.
What that got to do with?
You not gonna compliment me? I'm not.
Wow. So you're the person. So you're the guy. You're the guy that's looking to smash at the end of the night, but your smash is a compliment. You're the person talking about. You just talked about you didn't like that thing.
I mean, wait. Stuff. For our anniversary or something, I'll try to dress sexy. Yes, but like if we just go into the movies, I'm probably gonna be like this. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm dressing like this because he's not.
Okay, but you going with Shy? Would you dress like that?
I wouldn't dress like this, but I wear something cute, but it'll be like very kawaii. It might be more like streetwear cute.
Interesting.
Because I know that's what she liked. So I'd be like, oh,
interesting. She said it out loud. Didn't she say
it out loud? I did say it out loud.
She said it out loud.
I don't feel bad about it.
So you'll get cute for Twan. You'll get cute for Shy. So no, wait, like let's zone in on this. Like let's use you since you're willing to say it out loud. Who are you when you said you know she likes the quiet thing? So are you getting cute for her or the compliments that'll come from her because she likes it? So are you self-feeding? Are you mutual?
We get cute for each other. Like she'd be like, I want to show you this outfit I got. She might be shopping and be like, is this cute? So then we go out, she gonna wear it. We gonna be cute together. We gonna go out. It's part of the it's not so that's in a sexual way. It's kind of
I get it.
It's more of like a bonding, like we get cute together.
That's almost like preening. Yeah, it's like preening almost in a way. I get it.
Or like when me and Twan went to the Doechii concert, we both talked about how we wanted to dress because we was like, it's gonna eat. So saying it's for that other person may not be the best because
that's like an activity. It's like a meta activity. It's an activity within the activity. It's an activity within an activity.
Because it wasn't real for him, right? He was like, oh, I'm gonna do like her preppy look, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. And then when we finally like get together and we see each other outfit, we be like, oh, you ate them up. You know, like
I like it. So no, it's a game within a game. I'm with it.
So it's not the same as dressing sexy for my husband on the anniversary. It's not the same energy. So I feel like it's an energy that's easier to tap into. So like my husband's a very strong silent type. He don't he real chill. He even if he excited, he ain't gonna really show it. He ain't really into it. He ain't gonna really show it. So. If we go to a anime convention, he's probably not gonna be like, I want to dress like this. I want to do this. What you gonna wear? Like he's not gonna do that with me.
Yeah.
So
you need something to make it fun. I'm fun.
Yeah.
Motivated.
So if we go to the anime convention together, I'm probably just gonna dress chill because I'm assuming he gonna dress chill because he don't care about it.
Yeah, matching energy type.
Yeah, I kind of match his energy. Now he may secretly want that. He may see me have that energy with my friends and be like, why you don't be that way with me? But I mean, it is what it is. You not give me that energy, I'm not gonna give you that energy. So
I can respect that. I can respect that.
I mean,
I do wonder though, because I know a lot of people have that, but it's not that exact same dynamic. So I wish Rico was still here so I could ask him like how he feels about it, because like to have your wife, to know your wife is getting cute to go to work and become more co-workers and stuff like that's interesting.
It's because it's in a social fashion is a social thing. It's a social activity.
Social function and status. I get it.
As much as you put out, as much as you put out is what you get back. That's what I always say. As much as you put out is what you get back. So when I go to fashion events, everybody's there being fashionable. So like it creates a whole nother level of engagement that you could talk about clothes or pieces. And so a lot of men don't care about fashion or aesthetics or how you look. So it's just like you're missing a whole layer of experience. But you want, I'm like, you gonna give me dry energy. It's not a thing for you. So why would I
get you. I get it.
It's just gonna take.
There wouldn't be a return. You're putting out effort, and why put out the effort if there's no return on that energy? Yeah,
it kind of like more so like it's just not a thing for him. It's almost like
it won't be appreciated.
Yeah,
it's like Pearl Swan, not in the negative context. Just you're throwing something of value to somebody that won't appreciate it. I can respect that.
Yeah,
I can respect that.
I mean, but I do think sometimes men look at it out of context. And just feel like, because like y'all said, me and always talk about it. You feel slighted. Why she don't give me that kind of energy? And it's really. That's why I say I don't know what to tell y'all because I'm probably one of them women. I don't know what to tell you.
But see, I think there's also nuances and there's variations of this, because I think there's some that are flagrant. What you just explained is understandable. And if I heard that as a guy, if I heard that from a woman I was dealing with, I would, I need to make sure we do more things where she feels like she wants to dress up. But
usually you're not going to hear it like we always talk about. Because usually it's just kind of like they're not going to go to the extent to tell you, explain. Like after I explained it, you're like, okay, I get it. But at first it sounded harsh. That's usually where it stops in relationships.
Yeah. But I'm saying, had I got to that point, because I would have had that conversation. Like if I see you going to work and getting fly for work.
Yeah.
And like you never get fly when we go somewhere, we're going to have a conversation. So, but if that came out during the conversation, if that for somewhere we got there during the conversation, I would be like, I need to incentivize the behavior if I want Like I have a decision to make now. Is what I'm saying. There's not a cat.
I either engage in the culture of making it important, or I don't, and she just keeps showing up chill. But it's not a spite.
So now the ball's on my side. Like either I give the incentive that shapes the behavior, or I allow her to do it where she feels comfortable. But I would also need to know, like, do you feel slighted that I don't incentivize that behavior? Do you feel like there's something lacking that I don't create the energy? You know what I'm saying? So that's also a second.
That's actually a fair question, because it could be true that they lack it, so they find it in other people.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need verbal? I don't fucking know why we need verbal communication. I don't. Mm-hmm. It's not something I've thought deeply about.
I know I need verbal confirmation, not about looking good, but like if I'm doing something, if I'm pouring energy into something, I need to know that you notice.
And I think it's a connection. I think it's just a connecting with people thing. I don't think it's a necessity for existing. But when you talk about bonding and connecting with people, I think that's just another way to do it. Just hearing that they appreciate the effort or they're there with you. Yeah. I think it's just another way to bond. I think it's not a human necessity, but I think it's a bonding kind of thing. Yellow looks like he got some.
He got something. He's percolating on something.
I mean,
there's a beam brewing.
There's something.
There is a beam brewing.
There's something there.
There's a weed nugget getting grinded. It's not rolled up yet.
Okay.
He's gonna give me. I know what he's finna give to me straight how it feels. Go ahead, yo.
So there is. First of all, I do want to address this. Let me address this. This is kind of present right now.
Let's go.
I think if you want to do something nice, why do you need? Here's the thing. That's probably not saying what you're saying is problematic, but we've gotten too far away from not needing validation.
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of take that and made that a bad thing. Yeah, if I'm putting in energy and I'm doing all that, I need to be. Sometimes it need to be validated that I'm doing something that's being appreciated.
That you like. Or that you appreciate. So I can do it more. Right.
Yeah. It is a positive reinforcement. So I either can do more or do less of it. Yeah. Because if you're not liking it, I'm doing it, now I'm looking dumb.
Right. Or I'm like annoying to you now.
Right. Or I'm annoying you. Right.
Yeah. Right.
So, but as far as
713.
What
713. Sorry.
Yeah, my bad. Shout out to 713. I shout it out, but
using that thought. That thought was percolating for a minute. Yeah, we got you.
So I get the idea of not wanting to put out the energy because he's not gonna react to it, right? But there's also
not a thing for him, right?
Mm-hmm. But there's also this thing where they won't. I guess basically in that idea is conform to what he thinks is attractive. Like sometimes men have to kind of accept the attractiveness that's put forth in front of them.
Yeah, I think, and that's why I say I think a lot of this is happening below that surface of what you're talking about. Is that what's happening is she's getting a lot of that confirmation and validation from other people that lets her know how to show up for them. Go ask your sister. Or grab it out of the fridge. She's getting that validation. So when they're validating me, they're telling me how to show up for them. And as someone who is in that group, it is hard to get that validation from, because once again, strong silent type. He just even keel, which is one of the things I love about him. He's a very even keel, but that also means he's not really expressive. So even if he loves it, he's not super expressive. He's not. So that makes it harder for me to know how to show up for him, even if I want to. So a lot of times when men are seeing what you're seeing, that's why you're there, because I don't know how to fashion myself for you.
Mm-hmm. Right. But I think there's also this kind of dismissiveness on fashioning yourself for him in any kind of way, not just you. I'm talking about the overall general conversation.
Because like because what arena is it important to you and what's not? Because then a lot of men don't have the resilience to go through this is not the space from where I fashion myself for you. Maybe this isn't, maybe this is. If I'm going out to a brunch date with my girlfriends, I'm gonna fashion myself for her. I'm not fashioning myself for her if we're going to Publix or if I'm at home. So it's also about creating spaces for that. So if we're not going on dates, if we're not making room for uniquely us spaces where I would fashion myself for you, you telling me you just want to see me look a certain way when I'm scrubbing showers or rearing children
that's not.
But I'm not saying that's what you're saying. But that's how a lot of men.
Let me give a better example.
No, that was still a good example.
Yeah. I mean, but that's it. That's also the problematic level. I'm not leaning so far problematic to where you gotta instruct somebody on how to look while they're at home cleaning the tub. Like,
or just at home in the chill space, like just at home in the chill space.
In a neutral chill space, I'm at home and relax. I think that's a bit much. But let me give you one example, right? So I was dating somebody, and I asked her about her hair. Right now, when I met her, I don't have a problem with wigs. I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with wigs. I have a problem with the same wig all the time. Ooh. Right, so I'm gonna be like, dude, I'll pop the balloon with the pot on the pot of balloon. He said, I don't like me. I don't mind a wig.
I just don't. We gotta switch it up. Or wear your hair sometimes. Probably, yeah.
Here's the point. Let me see your hair sometimes. I want to see you with your hair. Okay. Right, so I had
on a date night or something. On a date night or something.
Yeah, we go out and kick it. It was still relatively early in the process, right? So date nights was frequent. We were still like on each other, so it wasn't that like we didn't.
No, so you said I want to when we go on a date. Can you wear your hair? This wasn't like just around the house. I want to see your hair.
Right. I want to see how your hair look, and she like no, because it costs too much to deal with and do all sorts of shit. And even to the point where I was like, okay, I'll pay to get it done. I just want to see how your hair look. Mm-hmm. And it was still it turned into more of a argument, or you know what I'm saying? Like
it's not just about paying to get it done.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, it's not that simple. It's not just like once it's done, it's over. It's kind of frozen.
I mean, if I see it one time, that's fine. You can go right back and put the damn crunchy ass wig on. I understand the day to day I make it. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the day to day I signed up for. I met you with that wig on. I'm cool with that.
So what did you say? You was like, we gonna go on a date and I want you to wear your hair. I get it done for this particular date. Were you specific or you was talking in general?
We had had the conversation about just her wearing her hair.
I know. So that I'm saying, was it a general conversation or did you give specific, like when we go on this date, I want you to wear your hair, so that it was a space created where she could show up in a way you liked and not a vague conversation about in general. Just one day pop up with your hair because I want to see it. I feel like that's different.
I told her I'd get it done we can go out and go kick. I planned on doing all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so she knew you was gonna do all that, or did you plan on it? That's what I'm asking. Were you specific to her?
I mean, I didn't have a specific plan, but if you do
this, so no.
That's where you're gonna lose. That's where you're gonna lose. Right. That's where you're gonna lose. Because I don't have to come with the whole date plan.
Yeah.
My deal was, if you do this, I'll do this for you. But you do this for me, I'll do this for you. Now I don't have to come with no whole detailed
not a whole detailed thing.
No, but that's kind of how you made it seem. Like
I kind of made it where it was what I was saying was the problem is that's what when we were talking about where it breaks down is there because it's this is someone who's made a choice and they live their life this way every day, which means that somehow in their functionality in their day-to-day life, this has become utility for them to just wear a wig. You're asking them to not do that for you. That's cool. I don't have a problem with it. But it probably would have been more useful if they would have had a set place where they know this is going to happen ahead of time. Like, I'm gonna take you out on Thursday. I'll let you get your hair done. Just wear it on a date with me. Then it's like, okay, this is a space you've created for you and I to come together and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to wear my hair there. And then when I get back to the house tomorrow, I put the wig back on. It's cool. And that is giving room for her to show up to cater to your desire in a specific space that has been created. That's the only reason I was pushing back on it, because sometimes it's vague, and sometimes the vagueness, or just assuming that the person understood your thought process or how you saw it playing out. I think a lot of times people assume too much that the person will see it like, oh, well, I was planning to do this. I ain't got to say all that, but I was gonna do that. It's like the other person don't know that. The other person don't know what you was gonna do. I mean, it may seem obvious.
If I say I'm going to take you, if you get your hair done, I'll pay for you to get your hair done, and I'll take you out. I don't think that I have to explain to you the specific
you already been
detail. But this is what I'm saying. Right. This is why I'm letting you get it out, because I don't want to be rude. But you also full of shit right now, too.
So like, did you get her hair done? How did it end up playing out? How about that?
She kept saying no.
So she never did it?
Right. That's my point. There was no situation that I can there was no situation that I can present to her that would do that. And no, she didn't have alopecia. She wasn't bald. I seen her hair.
Said, no, I don't want to wear my hair.
A couple times.
It was a boundary for her.
It was a boundary.
It was because it interfered with her laziness.
I mean, and that's what I mean. To me, in the same situation where you're in a situation where you're asking something to somebody that they said they wouldn't do. I mean, so I kind of feel like I get what you're saying, but at the same time, there's certain clothes I wouldn't wear. So like if King was just like, we gonna go on a date and I want you to wear this skirt, I generally don't wear super short stuff that gonna have my ass out. I just don't do it. I never have, probably never will. So even if he asked me to do it, I'm be like, no.
Gaslight.
No, I'm saying I would tell him no.
We know it's a huge difference.
Yella's talking about having her hair.
Own hair, right? Her own hair in her damn head.
All I was saying was I was using that because for me, I don't have hair boundaries.
Terrible example, because there's a huge difference between clothes that's revealing.
So you wouldn't wear pants.
Some women,
you wouldn't wear pants ever.
Some women feel comfortable wearing mini dresses. Some women feel comfortable having all their cleavage out.
Exactly. Yeah. This is
your
hair.
It's not a big deal.
The most it's going to show is your ears or your face. Things that people see all the time.
I was just
Right, but I'm saying no. The example, I get what you're saying.
Right, thank you. No, but I'm just saying something where I have a similar sensitivity. I'm not saying when I say ass out, that's how it feels to me. I don't mean literal ass out. I don't wear mini dresses. I don't wear stuff with a whole bunch of cleavage out. I generally do not dress that way, even though many women do, and it's fine. So if my husband told me to wear that, I probably would say no, because it's something I don't feel comfortable wearing. That's all I'm saying. That's why I used it, because her hair seemed to be to that extent for her, where she don't wear it out. She refused to wear it out. Even when you offered to pay to get it done, she refused to wear it out. So for whatever reason, her hair was that thing for her. I don't know why.
It's a boundary, it's a firm boundary. But did she give you a reason, or did she just maintain the boundary and never explain it?
I mean, it just became a bunch of different reasons. I don't want to have to keep it up. It's too expensive. Yeah. It's a myriad of reasons.
Okay.
Right. So,
that's what I was. Right. That's why I asked her to do it, because I want to see your hair.
Yeah, she don't want to see her hair.
Yeah.
There are certain hairstyles I've asked my husband to wear, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
No.
And that's
and it seems simple, right? It seems simple enough, and it wasn't crazy. I was asking him to do. I wouldn't like dye pink. I mean, it's just like, I would like to see your hair this way. No, I'm not wearing my hair this way. I mean,
yeah. I mean, they were both being reasonable to themselves,
right?
But they weren't like, I don't feel like she was being reasonable to the pair,
right?
Like that's the issue. Like now you're doing something that you could do. It won't cost you anything like tangible. There's something intangible that's there to you, and you're not even sharing what that intangible thing is.
Right. I think there needed to be more conversation about what's connected to the hair. Right.
Yeah. Or she either couldn't access it, or she wasn't going to let him access it. Either way. Like, just out of curiosity and nosiness, how did that resolve itself? Did you just get over it, or did that become a thing? Like, what happened?
I mean, it didn't. It didn't resolve itself. It just...
They ain't together.
Yeah, right. We ain't together, right? We end up breaking up. Not over that.
I mean,
but...
because like I'm talking about that top. Like, was that the thing that drove the wedge? Like, that's what I'm asking.
No, but it was
that
kind of
pushed under the
rug. No, but it was kind of a sign of the dynamic. It was kind of the sign of the dynamic.
Like, and she was very like set in certain things.
Yeah, you're gonna be more of me trying to always convince you to do something.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what, like, I don't have an issue with that example. I'm not saying it's not valid, but that's like when I'm talking about the dynamic of a couple that's already together, and maybe they are together and the woman's, like we were talking about, getting dressed up when she goes out with her friend and maybe not her long-term boyfriend or husband. Y'all kind of got past that point. I'm talking about that you're giving me with that example. So it's fair, but I don't think that's more the dynamic I'm talking about. I'm talking about the dynamic where it's just kind of like it hasn't been communicated what he wants. Not that he's communicated and she's outright said no. I think those are different.
Yeah, they were different.
Yeah.
I mean, they're different, but that's the thing about it. This is my point. We've also conditioned men in society to not comment on what women are wearing.
Exactly.
That's
right.
I understand how y'all land there.
Right.
But I also think that context is lost when you're looking at her fashioning herself for the other people who verbalize it when she goes out with them.
I don't think they so much verbalize it. They're reacting because you're putting yourself around people who like how you want to dress yourself. Think about that. They're giving the feedback. You're not dressing for them. You're not necessarily dressing for them. You're getting the confirmation of you dressing for yourself. You're still dressing for how you want to feel, but they're affirming that, right? So, like, I get the idea that you, like you said, you dress for Shy Cutie because she liked to see you in that other shit, but she likes how you dress.
Yeah, she likes how I dress, and then if we go, that's why I kind of established that it's more of the experience with each other of going to the thing in our unique way we dress.
So there's still no prerequisite on what you can present. You're still free to present whatever way you want. I'm talking about when it comes to men and how they specifically think women should look and women should dress. That now is perceived as problematic.
Well, that's why like when I'm having a conversation, I try to keep it very relationship specific because I don't think you can't, that's too vague. So that's what I mean. Like that's why I was fine with using myself as an example, because I am with a specific man and he does not feel comfortable, probably because of what you're saying. Men are supposed to comment on how women dress.
Or even if it's not that, he just doesn't. He may not feel comfortable.
Right,
it's either not his thing, or he doesn't think I'd be open to it. He probably has his own reasons. I can't speak for that.
Or doesn't care.
Or just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I'm not getting any feedback, whether that's him verbally saying he like it or giving me a reaction when I show up, and what I think is attractive that day, we're going on a date, I'm gonna dress sexy. I put on what is sexy to me. Right. But if I don't get any feedback from him that, that is indeed sexy, then maybe next time I put on something I think is sexy and it's not, because I don't know which one is a hit or miss for him. And maybe he doesn't care. But sometimes I think that's what men are seeing, and they don't realize that's what they're seeing. It's just like her knowing specifically what was a hit with those people versus her kind of just dressing what she thinks is sexy for you, and you maybe not confirming or denying it. So she just kind of always goes based off what she thinks is sexy and not specific to what you feel like sexy.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just that. I think it's just that happening. It's not I want to see you in this dress. Like that's very specific. Or if she wears a dress, be like, you need to wear that again. Like, I like that, or anything like that. Some men just don't, they're not going to give you no feedback.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's a dynamic that happens. But like I was saying earlier, I think there's layers of that too, all the way to where Yellow's talking about, where no matter what the guy's saying, they just have some kind of disdain for a guy telling them something, like more feminist lensed, more feminist, like ain't no guy about to tell me you can control what I dress, blah blah. You ain't about to change me. Like I've heard that verbiage come from women. About so like whether it's positive or negative reinforcement about what they dress, they just refute it, but simply because it's coming from a man. So I think I mean, so I don't know the intentions of why Yella's person was like dodgy on that. Like there are multiple reasons a person could be like really resistant to somebody giving them positive or negative feedback on how they fashion themselves.
Yeah,
any number of reasons, from
if it's
past
a certain
history,
sensitivity,
ideologies, insecurities. It could be a million things, and without the communication,
context, right?
Yeah, you don't know where they're coming from. So, but I think all of those are like good examples. I know people going through all of it. Like,
yeah, because it does come up a lot how women will dress cute. Hey, DJ Dose. Hey, Shy Cutie. How women will dress up for everybody else except their men. And it's just something I hear come up a lot. And I think the reality of it is more closer to, I think sometimes the reality is closer to what I'm saying, especially if they've been in a relationship with the person already. I'm not talking about in the dating phase or very early, where the clear boundaries are being laid out and it's like yes or no. I feel like it is a lot of that going on where she just maybe isn't getting.
So let me like throw more doodle in here real quick. So because that's only true to a point. Because we started talking about like Rico and his woman's going to work. She's going to do very performative things on a job site, whatever the type of job it is, whatever. So fashioning yourselves for them to go be a worker, why couldn't you then also fashion yourself, like you said, to be a worker in the home? Like you said, like I wouldn't fashion myself to scrub.
Yeah.
Like you're going to this place and you're getting this social validation.
Yeah.
But the actual the venue that you're going to is not a fashion venue. It's not a date.
Yeah.
It's not an event. It's not this, that,
work,
or the other. Right. It's just work. So why do we have to ask the guy, if the guy's in this situation, and maybe we just didn't expand on it. Why does the husband, the partner, the boyfriend have to create some kind of event or give some kind of like?
Well, it's because of it's not the dressing for the function. It's what the dressing, it brings a level of engagement or communication or social to the space. So by her wearing, like my job is Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
If I bought a Stanley Cup, I don't have one, but if I bought a Stanley Cup, now there's a whole nother layer of engagement I can engage in with these women at work, which is a way to connect and relate. It's a relation. So it's not necessarily the fashion. It's like if everybody wears Skims and that is part of the culture, that the conversation that we have professionally at work, then if I also engage in that, then now that's another layer of conversation or engagement.
How could a guy introduce that at home? How could a guy foster an environment of you and some kind of attractive desirability angle without it being seen as offensive or controlling? How would you suggest?
And I think that's the part that's like kind of like missing, like when it's only desirability. I think most women say, well, we're going on a sexy date night, so I'm going to dress sexy because that's desirability.
Exactly.
I think what's being missed is that it's a way to connect. So it's about a common culture. It's more so than fashion. Fashion is utilized by women to establish that.
Right.
It's
so
common.
I'm asking you.
So if a man doesn't care about fashion, then there just has to be something that y'all share in at home that is a point of connection for y'all. Like I know me and my husband game, but if you say, I want my woman to look good for me, like, okay, I want her to wear more sexy things around the house. Then if she wears something sexy around the house, it really is as simple as you're going to have to just really like big her up a little bit. Maybe not forever, but so that she knows he really likes this.
You said if. What I'm saying is she's not currently doing it.
She's not doing it.
I want it.
Yeah.
How do I get there?
So you can probably buy it for her. Buy something you want to see her in that's comfortable. Like make it clear that you've considered the utility of why she does the things she does. Like that's what I was saying with the hair thing. It may be some utility of why she don't like to wear her hair or a deep insecurity of why. So if you just come over and be like, I want you to just do this thing you never do, you know, she may say no. But even if she don't say it, let's just say she don't say no. Like if King bought me a fucking muumuu, because you know whatever. Let's just say he want to see me in a muumuu. It's just not in my fashion repertoire.
Yeah, so he just love a muumuu. Something about a muumuu.
He just be like, I want to see her in a muumuu. If he buy me a muumuu, like he'd be like, okay, I want to see you in this. It's either I'm gonna wear the muumuu And then he gonna be like, yeah, you look good. I'm be like, hell no, I'm not wearing no fucking muumuu. It's like, but like, if he doesn't introduce the element of what he wants, it's never gonna come from me because I'm not wearing a fucking muumuu.
Right.
But
that's
now,
what I'm trying to get to. Like, so he just needs to find a way to introduce it,
or just say it. I know King one time was like, I want to see you in more dresses. He was just like, I want to see you in more dresses. He said it point blank, and I was like, you know, I'm perpetually cold and anemic, so I was like, you know, you gonna be hard pressed to catch me in a dress in wintertime. But when the summer rolled around, when we at the house, I made a point to buy more house dresses that I could wear because he said it.
Okay, yeah. So a guy has to verbalize his wants.
Verbalize it, and so because he told me I want to see you in more dresses. When I wore the dress, he didn't even really have to compliment me because he already told me he wanted to see me in the dress. Yes. So I already know he wanted to see me in the dress. He didn't have to compliment me when I wear it.
Yeah,
it was just a way of knowing. It's either you have to tell her directly what you want, or if she just happens to do what you want, then compliment that I really liked it. I mean, that's really the only two ways, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so if you're not a compliment person, then just be direct, I think.
Yeah. And
she can always say no. But I mean, how else do you communicate to somebody what you desire? I don't.
Yeah, I get you. And there's only so indirect I would ever suggest to do. I was wanted to hear a woman say what a guy should do, as opposed to me saying what I thought a guy. You know what I'm saying? That's for the conversation we were having. Yeah. Because I mean, you were saying it does come up a lot. A lot of guys do say that thing. And so, how do you get from A to B? You know, how do you? Because
I'm not wearing a dress. He ain't finna see me in a dress for a few months. Yeah. I'm in the house like this. Yeah. Because I'm cold as fuck. So I'm not wearing a dress. If he would have came to me on a random December day and was like, I want to see you in a dress.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no. No.
You shall
cold.
Receive or not.
It's cold. I mean, so, and then I also think a lot of men don't have the resiliency to ask for what they want if they are told no.
Yellow's face though. Look, y'all come on, man. Get that.
Y'all get told. They get told no one time, and it's like I'll never ask for anything ever again. So it's like, okay, right, touch her more. It's a lot of ways you could communicate that you like something. Do the booty grab in the kitchen. I'm talking about people in relationships already.
Just let them go, bro.
People in the relationships already. Okay,
just let
I'm sorry. But I do think there is an aspect too. I can't speak to why, but I do think sometimes men, they if you tell them no, they be like, that's it, never again. You know, so then they just be like, I resolve to never ask you for anything ever again. And it's like, okay, well,
because what you're saying is, verbalize it to them, tell them what you want, but then
she might say no.
But then also hope that she doesn't have some deep rooted insecurity or trauma backed up behind your request for her how to look, and she won't say no. And then if she says no, well, guess what? You just have to be okay with her saying no. Because if I ask you again on something you said no about, then it's going to turn into this thing where I'm constantly making you feel insecure about it, and I'm constantly bringing it up, and I'm constantly talking to you about it, and then eventually you're going to get bent out of shape about it, and it's going to make you feel some type of way.
How do you know someone really don't like you, or if they with you for convenience?
Yeah, if they won't do anything, if they won't fashion themselves behaviorally or like appearance, like visually. If they won't fashion themselves in any way to
you've asked multiple times in different ways and they always say no, and you're with them. Why? Because for me, I hear what you're saying, but if I always requested things from my partner that I desire, and they always always told me no.
But she got this. Yeah, but she got this deep rooted insecurity.
Okay, well, she's too insecure for me. She's too insecure for me, and I have needs, and I'm a human. So let me go find somebody.
I'm not making space for her insecurities or her trauma, and I'm not loving her.
Not my job.
But that's it. But see, that's where I'm saying. Here's the thing. I'm saying the things that we hear that men don't do for women in them spaces to make them feel comfortable enough to do it.
Yeah, but you're taking it into a space where we're not.
But what I'm saying is this: it went there though. Like it went there. It became all these grand, elaborate reasons on why she also shouldn't be. I get if you create the perfect storm, the storm will happen. That's essentially what y'all saying for the man to do. Create the perfect storm and the storm will happen.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
But yeah, it is, because if it's a situation where she can say no, but the no also comes from a place where I have to have empathy for the no.
Maybe the first no or the second no, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times constantly no. You don't have to have empathy for that. You have your own needs that are valid. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. I don't believe in perpetually letting somebody like, bitch, why are you here? You ain't gonna never hear me say that. You're not gonna hear me say that. I don't think you get to just be with somebody as their life partner and never do shit they want.
Yeah. Because see, like I would use Bree's example about the dress. Like in a real relationship, it should be some sort of a negotiation. Hey, I like to see you in a dress. Hey, but it's cold. But I got you.
Right.
When it ain't cold. You know what I'm saying? Like there'll be some kind of compromise. I'll meet you in the middle to facilitate your desire. Like I think that should be common. But like, if somebody like I'm yelling with you with the wig thing, to me it would have been perfectly reasonable for her to try that. Or if she explained, like, hey, listen. I really have a thing about being seen with my natural hair. My mama made fun of me. My grandmama made fun of me, whatever. Like, I'll get it done for you, but I don't want to go anywhere with it. Like, if I could just get it done and I'll come home and you can see it and blah, blah, blah. But then I'm putting my wig on when I go to work the next day. If we go out, I'm wearing my wig. Like, that would have been some sort of a compromise so you could see it, but I don't want to wear it out. So you could then have empathy for her situation, but also get your request fulfilled too. Just to a lesser degree, and hers to a lesser degree. You know what I'm saying? So there's the compromise, so that everybody gets a facsimile of what they're looking for. Maybe not to the fullest extent, but that's the compromise. Like it's two people now. It's not just what you want or not just what I want. It's got to be what can we accept? What can we live with?
Right. Because I think what I'm speaking to more is so that like people who aren't verbalizing at all. Yeah. It's like feedback or asking. I mean, in your situation, you were just direct that she said, no, that's a line for me. So at that point, you have to say, well.
Yeah. And Yella didn't even get that consideration.
Exactly.
You just have to figure out.
She was just like, no. I don't care if you pay for that shit or not. I'm not doing it. I mean, I feel like that's a little different. I don't think that doesn't mean you did anything wrong by being direct and saying what you would like to see from her. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like in your situation, it doesn't really...
Yeah, you just didn't get. Yeah, you didn't get negotiated fairly with.
Right, but there is. I don't really believe there is this idea of a fair negotiation with that, because we also see how the perception is of men who just state how they want their woman to look. Period, and the reception of that. So it's going to be a little more difficult for the man to want to kind of verbalize that.
Right.
Because there is no surefire, okay, I can just verbalize this and get a no. Yeah. Or I can just verbalize this
but most one don't want to find out how their partner will respond to their desires. And that's I understand the nuance of why. Like he probably has very valid reasons from life experience. Like he's only been with me so many years and he's over 40. So like I'm not sitting here assuming that every choice he makes is me centric. He may be making these choices because of his experience with other women or what people say, or he has life experience that makes him decide those things. So I'm sure he has a way, but at the same time, I can't work a miracle. So if I don't get nothing, I can't really do anything with nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I know there was a lot of comments we didn't read at all.
Now there was one I definitely wanted. Fire 6, man. What's up, Spitfire, man? It's nice to hear confirmation from time to time, but to require it to do anything seems off. I wanted to get to that because that's an interesting thing. Like, because I think confirmation of what people are doing is required from the sense that people need to know that they're on the right track with you. Because we are such in society where people get blindsided by separations, by divorces. Like people are withholding feedback, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, I haven't been happy for years. Well, you didn't tell me. You should have been able to see the signs or the hints, all that other stuff.
You didn't notice it.
Yeah, based on like all that we've been talking about, people don't communicate directly a lot of times because of fear, because of poor feedback, because of social programming.
You may not ever get context.
You may not
relationships. Right.
So I think confirmation is useful to like let people know where you appreciate like feedback. It's positive and negative feedback. No, I really don't like. I wish you wouldn't do this, or I really enjoy when you do. I think the feedback is necessary just for our own confidence within the relationship. To require it to do anything is where I think it goes too far. Because I don't think Bria is
kind
saying,
of like needy. No.
Yeah, because I think I would say with this statement, we're flipping what Bria is actually saying. She's not saying I'm not going to do this unless you compliment me. Like she said, if we're going on a date or a special event, I will dress up. It's just we're just going somewhere over here, like a basic movie or something. I'm gonna be more comfy than dressy. Right. So I don't think in her example she was saying I require it. You better compliment me, or I'm not going to dress up. I don't think it was like what's that called, an ultimatum? I don't think.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was
just I'm only going to play up to the level of the competition. Basically, I'm only going to rise to the situation as big as the situation is.
Yeah, if we're going on a grown sexy date, I'm gonna dress the way I think is sexy. Yeah, So yeah, I'm not gonna like purposely show up in a sack. But like I've worn stuff that I thought was sexy, and he'd be like, "That's not giving sexy. That's giving like." He's just like, "That's giving." He's like, "It's giving like I don't know. It's not sexy though. It's giving
it wasn't
sexy if you were like a church lady." And
then I was like, "But you thought it was
sexy."
Exactly. Okay, so now we're at where I'm at.
So then I ain't wear that shit no.
Now where I'm at. Luckily you are a little more level-headed and a little more understanding to that. Like you get the sign, okay, well, I'm not gonna do this.
But she also didn't buy her edges.
But he was terrified.
She also don't buy her edges, right?
He also was terrified to tell me this. He was terrified to tell me that. But because he actually made a point to say it, I definitely was like, okay, I will not wear this out. We're getting sexy anymore.
Yeah, see, that could be taken some type of way.
Yeah, it could have been a whole argument.
Could have been a whole argument.
That's not a reason to never do it. You gotta know, I think.
But hold on, that you gotta know.
You need to know if your partner can handle feedback. I would not want to marry somebody. I'm just saying that's just for me. I think for a healthy relationship, that's something I would need to know, that they can take criticism. That may not be for everybody. I just couldn't be with nobody who couldn't hear nothing about themselves.
I mean, but that's the thing. When it comes to that, when it comes to attraction, that could be hit or miss.
Yeah, it's
tough.
Because
it's a minefield. It's a minefield.
It could have ruined the whole night if I wanted to know about it.
Right. So when you sit back saying, "Oh yeah, just be vocal. Tell them how you think. Tell them how you feel." I don't understand why
he wasn't mean about it though. There's also
it doesn't have to be. That's the
I'm
thing
just saying,
it.
but no, because what you're saying is just resolved. I understand what you're saying. Like it can go bad. It can go really bad. The woman could blow up even if you say it nice. I understand what you're saying, but in essence, the only option if we're gonna go that way is to just not say it because you don't want to cause waves because you don't know how it's gonna go.
And that's some kind of lie.
Right. No, and I get that. I just want, what I'm doing more or less is letting women know that there is
it's
reason behind it. Right. There's a reason behind
it. Right.
Yeah.
We know that.
Women contribute to the reason men don't.
Right. And I don't think they know that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's clear to them. Like, I don't think most women do. Like, Brie, I get you did it because you said it. Like when he said that shit looked trash, I took it.
And that's what I'm saying. The way he said it, it was very like. I think if he would have been like, "You look like trash," or he would have said it. I think I would have maybe not taken it. I would have been like, "Oh fuck it, then we go."
I'm about to wear this all the time.
Right,
we finna go to the house, bitch. What you talking about?
My favorite dress.
There's always a better way to explain it. I'm saying it amongst friends.
I got it in me, and there has been some stuff he's definitely said that I definitely win.
I'm saying it amongst friends. As your twin, I probably would have told you, "Hey, that shit trash." But that's your man. He got different stakes with you,
and that's why I'm having the conversation.
Right.
In the context of a relationship, I don't want to take this conversation outside of somebody you're in a relationship with.
Right.
I think you just can't have that conversation with vague or people who you're not.
Yeah. The stakes ain't as high anywhere else.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a way to do it. You definitely don't want to be crass. But that's the thing about it.
very little room to operate with, even not being overly opinionated about how they look.
He was just like, you look like a sexy nun. I think that's what he said. It was like a compliment.
He said the thing that you didn't want. Yeah.
Backhanded compliment.
That's him like knowing you. That's him knowing you. I know exactly what you wouldn't like. Let me say that.
All right.
A sexy, non-sexy thing. You're a sexy asexual.
I saw what you was going for.
Sexiest non-sexy thing
you thought
ever.
You ate? Like, you just say that. You thought you ate. You did not.
Oh
like,
my God.
I mean, so I mean, yeah, but I didn't wear it anymore. I wouldn't have known. I just feel like I wouldn't have known.
So let me ask you a question. Though, see, I think
that's what he did.
for a couple, I think there's like again the feedback loop. Like if you found it sexy, I would think, well, you need to wear that again because you like it, and if you feel good in it.
He's like, you can wear it somewhere sexy for you on our anniversary dinner.
I got you.
This is the anniversary dinner. This is
no. Yeah, it's something he don't like for your. No, I get that. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but I would think like there could be somewhere else that you could wear this thing that you feel sexy.
Oh yeah, he was like, you could go somewhere for y'all, for yourself, and wear that sexy. I mean, that's not what he said, but you know, but at that time, I think I had just came out of a certain phase where I was very modest, so I didn't really have anything sexy. I think it was like the first time we went out for like our anniversary, like for real, like went somewhere fancy and nice. So I really didn't have anything to wear. I think I had already had my youngest, maybe. Okay. So I didn't really fit my old sexy clothes either. So yeah, once again, that's like a landmine because I could have went full. Man. I just had a baby and you're calling me fat. I mean, I could have went full panic mode, but I didn't because he said it and it was funny, and you know. But I mean, it is what it is.
So let me ask you another question, Brie. Speaking to like the inherent fear that you can hear, the abject terror that you can hear in Yella's voice when he talks about giving this feedback on the way she dressed and look. Like, how would you inform a guy, like? Because he's dealing with these women that blow up or
that's what I'm like. If your woman blow up, I mean,
what would you say? Like, but he like that's just his cohort. The people that are around him are less likely to be emotionally intelligent. But we still want to be around women. I mean, we're not going to stop being around women because all are crazy. So,
I mean, because I don't really know, because I just can't see. I know that's what a lot of people, how people are. A lot of people are emotionally unregulated and codependent. I always say that.
Right.
So a lot of people are like real codependent and co-regulate. They can't regulate themselves. So it's like we in this together.
You got to calm me down. You bring out my femininity. You make me my best self. Yeah.
So I mean, it sucks for y'all that y'all will never have a connected relationship where y'all can actually be authentic with each other.
Hey, Yella. Rashawn. Hey, Bree.
Sucks for y'all.
Give me an advice, Bree. Sucks for y'all.
Right. I don't know what to tell y'all.
Yeah.
Get emotionally regulated yourself. Find people who are also emotionally regulated, and then you can maybe have a conversation with them. But I mean, if you're with someone who flies off the handle and listens to those tantrums, I mean, what can you do with it?
Okay. Ain't no advice.
There's no advice. If you got somebody who can't even hear the day outfit, you thought you ate. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
so how? So you're dealing with an emotionally unregulated woman, and you want to tell her that the glue-on edges ain't it.
Man,
how would you say it? You're Yella.
First of all, I think a person would let you know. If can they friends tell them anything? Can they mama tell them anything?
Their friends love it. Like, girl,
no, I'm just saying, no. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, like, look at the person. Can anybody near them tell them about themselves without them flying off the handle? That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to look
nothing negative.
Yeah, so if they friends can't say nothing negative to them, if they mama can't say nothing negative to them, you ain't gonna be able to say shit to them. So I just feel like a lot of people are picking people who can't hear nothing about themselves. Yeah. Because my friends will tell me, I remember I had to cuss King up and down sideways because I left the house with a head, like I had a head wrap on. That shit came off in the car. That nigga let me walk around Home Depot looking crazy. Looking great. I was mad. I still ain't let that shit go. We've been married 8 years. I still ain't let that shit go. I said, don't you never in your musty ass life let me walk around outside looking like I ain't want to say nothing to you because I feel like you was wrong. You know? So I just I mean, I kind of had to tell him like but that was a conversation where I'm communicating to him that I want to know if I'm looking crazy to you. So maybe that's kind of what gave him room to feel comfortable saying it in that moment. Like, you look like a sexy nun. So maybe you have to communicate that that's something you want. I don't know. Man, Shaquille didn't see how I was looking. Ooh. I had to FaceTime her and show her my hair. I was like, girl, I called Shaquille and was like, girl, look at my hair.
I got another question for you too. Like, when we were talking about this the other day, being perceived.
Yeah.
I wonder, from somebody who isn't like, you're married, but some people really don't care about that. Like, some people who are men or women who are in a relationship do not really value about the relationship, the fidelity of it. Is there an aspect of not wanting attention because the attention feels good?
Oh, do you not want it because you're like, oh, it's a good deal? Because if I get
because see, like the Roberto, like, he's like, I don't want women to dress. I want Sharia law so that women can't dress in a way that I find sexy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, is there an aspect of women saying, I don't want men to approach or comment? Is some of that the reverse of that? I want a Sharia law for men where they can't give me the validation that makes me feel good. It makes me let down my guard. Is there any of that in there? Like, I don't think all of it's just like, I don't want men to approach me because I'm scared because they can harm me.
For me, it's really not even a scared thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's really not. I generally don't. I don't walk around pretty fearful. I have conversations with men all the time. I have like a lot of male friends too. So I generally don't carry that kind of just general unease anytime a man approaches me. So it's really, I don't think it's really about like, oh, I trust myself around men a lot too. I think if a woman didn't trust herself around men a lot, like, oh, somebody might run up on me and they catch me on the right day. Like, that's kind of what you seem like you kind of saying. But I don't really have that. I really trust myself around men if I choose to engage with them. So I don't know. It's just more about.
Yeah, not necessarily you. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, because you know, and are you know what I'm saying? You know, women and women cheat too. Like, there has to be some aspect.
I think it's just like, it is a sexual aspect to it, but yeah, when you off the market, I think maybe it's just a little bit more annoying. Maybe more than anything, it's like, because I'm off the market, I got this fucking ring on, like, I mean, I can't take it there, so it's just kind of like annoying. It's like
I see, like, for you, but that's what I'm saying. Other people don't care. Like the whole Roberto thing, he's off the market, he's taken, but he's like, I still want women to wear burqas because
my dick be jumping when I see him. I mean, so one of the girls I was having a conversation with was only 22, and she wasn't even in a relationship, and she was saying she get like that sometimes. So I think maybe it's just even, I can't really, from that perspective, I think it's just like expectations. I think it's that whole idea of like, you know, if somebody perceive you a way, they're going to like throw all these like expectations on you that you can't live. Maybe you don't even want it. Like, I'm not even open to that. I don't even want that energy. So I think it's just that, because she was single. Like, she wasn't even married. She was very young. But she was just like, I don't want people to go out and think I'm open to anything they trying to give me just because I'm outside. It felt more like that.
Just more the don't want sexual pressure applied for the sake of, I just don't want that energy. Yeah, I get you. I have a right to exist without being sexualized.
Yeah, like mislead them. Yeah, it's just like I
was just curious about if there's another side of the coin, because I know it's there for the men, because everybody talks about women dressing to not provoke men.
Yeah.
So I know men also provoke women. So women women desire men too. So
fortunately for me, I'm only provoked by 2D men, and leads of smut. There's like no human man that is actually appealing to me, really. So I don't know.
I mean, again, like, like to who I thrown it up. Like they said, Joy Taylor was out here married in whole flings with people. Yeah. So
a lot of people be cheating.
A lot of people be out here.
A lot of people cheat. For me, I'm probably not a good person to ask because I'm just weird. Yeah. Like I'm just generally not a knee-jerk attracted to people that I see.
I just thought you might have had conversations in your lifetime with at least a few women who might have vocalized.
I find women who cheat a lot though, they always horny. Like I hung out with a woman who cheated all the time. Like we knew if we went out, she was cheating today. So but I feel like she always carried that energy. Like even when there weren't men around who she can cheat with, like she just generally did not fuck with her. Like she just could not stand. It was clear she did not like him, but they had like 5 kids and she was stuck. So to me, people who cheat, it's never surprising to me that they cheat because there's always this energy of they're stuck in their marriage. Like they're here because they can't take any other option. They can't leave. It's like I put in too much time or we got too many kids or the bills are too high. Like I feel like people who cheat always be like in one of them categories. So it never surprises me when they cheat because they just don't have a freedom to the self.
Yeah.
They don't really believe that they could just leave if they're not happy. So they just cheat.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, I did want to ask that question. I'm like, I know it's a thing on the men's side, and I know there's always an equal and opposite. There has to be something related on the women's side. I see too much.
Shoot, them women be wanting attention.
Yeah,
that lady who always cheated, she always wanted to be perceived. From what I can tell, she be like, I hope.
But I know, like an alcoholic. If you're trying to be in a relationship, like if you're trying to be in a relationship, you're probably not going to put yourself around alcohol. Like I mean, like if you're like that kind of thing.
I kind of was more there when I first got married. I told y'all I stayed home for like 2 years. Because I was like, I don't know how to exist anymore. Like I don't know how to be. So I don't know. Yes, I think maybe then that's probably the only time I maybe felt what you're talking about, where I was like, I'm just not gonna go outside because I don't know how to not be open to foolery. Because that's just how I existed before then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know how to be that way. So, but I don't think most people have the introspection into themselves to like do something like that. I don't really think most people.
I don't think most people do either, which is why they be in the situations they be in. But
right, they be cheating.
Yeah.
Because they be thinking they could be outside. Yeah, I definitely get that. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, I think there was one more start. I want to try to get to him before I saw something else start. Oh,
yeah.
What you think about this? There has been times where I would tell a partner that I wanted to wear a certain dress and he dropped the ball.
I wish she hadn't left. I actually had a question about that. Like, how did he drop the ball? Like, what does that mean?
I feel like she kind of showed him the dress. I'm like, I'm just going to project what my context would be. Like, she saw this dress and was like, I'm thinking about getting this dress. I think I want to wear this dress. And she showed it to him and maybe he didn't like respond to it. Or say like, "Oh, you look good in it." Yeah.
What was the expectation like? Because if you want to wear a dress, wear the dress.
But she want to know if you thought she would look good in the dress.
But that's not what that says.
Or the dress you would want to see. I think that's the context.
They said he dropped the ball. I just said
I'm just saying.
I get you. You're projecting. I get you. Yeah. I'm.
Oh, okay. You just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you're projecting. I'm just saying to that I would have questions to clarify, because if I want to wear something, I want to wear it. The other person can't drop a ball on something I want to wear.
Because I think that's when I was saying how men don't verbalize like what they like, like straight to like, even if you wear something they like or you show, like they don't say, "Ooh, you look good in it." Yeah, I want to see you in that. So I think I'm assuming she must have said it around that point. Like it would have been helpful.
Because I want to know, did he drop the ball because he didn't respond the way? Was he supposed to buy the dress? Like there's so many things.
Yeah, like what was her thought? And that's kind of why, once again, this is also what I would call vague language that I be talking about. People be doing in relationships. They just be doing stuff and think the other person kind of just could be in their head and know how they saw it playing out. And it's just like, I didn't know you wanted me to buy the dress. I didn't know you had you already bought the dress.
Communicated? What was the follow-up? What was his response? Did he get better over time? Like, I would love to know more about that. But
did you say did you just show him the dress and he had no contact? Like, are you trying to wear it to y'all anniversary? Like, what? Maybe he thought you was going to wear it to the club. And so he like, why does it matter? So I think people are very vague too.
Most of the time. We're vague and indirect it protects us from being hurt. Because if I never say what I want clearly,
right, you can't deny.
You're never rejecting. Yeah, you're never really rejecting me.
Ooh.
You're just.
Because there's certain type of I know men deal with rejection better than women, especially like when y'all are out like dating and stuff like that. But man, once a man get locked in,
yeah,
none of that tolerance remains. Maybe a little bit, only in the ways y'all expect. Yeah. Only in the ways y'all are like used to tolerating. Like, oh, you get turned down for some booty, great. I'll try again tomorrow. Like, y'all are good with that. But some of that other stuff, y'all, ooh.
Well, some of the other stuff, like, give me an example.
Being told no about like you want her to wear this thing, no, or anything you got to kind of put yourself out there to say, like anything that kind of leaves you vulnerable to say, and then the person can still say no. Y'all just don't typically, if it requires vulnerability to say, and they say no, anything, y'all don't really, y'all don't do well with that.
Because more of us is tied into expressing our desire. We're already leery in expressing our
physical desire. Right.
Yeah, whatever the desire is. Because it may not be just physical desire. Like just that principle. I'm trying to take that principle into the relationship. Like you're talking about the relationship. Anything that you desire for the relationship, you're going to be a little leery to bring up with this person that all of the weight of your life now is hinging on this person. And it feels like you all are so fickle. So the moment we go into any desire that we want, might be sexual, might be visual, might be, I want you to do this around the house. It could be anything. And it could cause tension, dissension. It could cause being undermined. And we don't know how far you take it. And again, I would also say a lot of women have a problem with proportionality. So it might be this one thing, but it's going to carry on for a month.
They stay mad way too long.
2 years.
And regulate their emotions.
Yeah. So a lot of times it's easier for us to subordinate our desire and sacrifice it completely than to address it with the woman. It's just easier to keep the peace. And
what is easier? Like I guess keep the peace. Keep the peace is a good. Okay, I think that embodies everything you're saying. But I don't.
It's like there's no conflict. That's to keep the peace.
Right.
Yeah, there's no conflict. If I don't, I'm
just gonna make a face. I'm not gonna say
there's no conflict. But unfortunately, a lot of times we still end up conflict. But I'm not trying to be funny. A lot of y'all y'all seek conflict. So it's like it's still that. Which pain do you want? The pain of avoidance or the pain of result?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Yeah. Because you're still gonna feel the pain. It's gonna be some kind of pain.
Because she's gonna be like, she gonna bring it up. Now, if you just like, I'm gonna avoid conflict, then the other person got to be the conflict because you can't avoid it. I think it's just a part of relationships.
Yeah, it's tough.
That just made me. I'm just trying to. I need to hold space.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you have a thing with conflict avoidance. You have a thing with conflict.
Yes, because you don't get what you want in the end.
But that's the thing. You just said that I may not get what I want in the end anyway.
But you may get what you want if you actually communicate it.
No, that may is too.
I know for y'all that's too much because I'm one of them people. I'm always gonna ask for what I want
because it's not structurally, because it's not one of them things. Like I get what you're saying. It's not one of them things that's like there's a balance between necessity and want in the relationship. It's not a necessity. And people will be more willing to kind of thug it out for a necessity. Yep. But this is a want. This is a desire. And women are kind of being told that male desire, even within the men that they have agreed to be in relationships with, is bad.
It's so weird.
Like they're only supposed to receive you the way you give you to them. And if they don't like it, if they can't take me as I am, or they love the whole me, they love me for me and who I am, because we're only really in a position to receive you.
And I think it's a feedback loop too, though, because I think the less that the person ever puts forward their own desires or things or whatever, that it feeds into that loop. So it's kind of a feedback loop. at that point. Because if the person never requires anything of you or asks anything of you and they're still with you, then yeah, you do love me no matter how I am. Like you're literally confirming that I don't have to be anything but me and who I want to be, and you still gonna be here.
Yeah.
So it kind of creates a feedback loop a little bit, where then she exists in a realm where she learns that she doesn't have to cater to your desires or anything to keep your presence or have you around. And so,
which it then loses value.
Right. And then that one day in 5 years in that you decide you want to ask for something and she's like, nope. And then you're like, oh my God. Yeah. That's crazy. But that's how you've been existing the whole time.
Yeah. You've been frictionless.
Yeah.
And then you bring some friction.
I mean, so I don't know. I feel like a lot of it is like, it's easy to look at it and say, well, this is just how it is. But I'm like, well, a lot of people create that dynamic.
Yeah, everybody plays a part. I love that quote that you brought. I think it was Jordan Peterson. I think it said, don't create the partner or the kids that you hate.
People create the partners they hate. People, I would never not believe that a lot of the stuff people are experiencing in their dynamics is what they're creating. And that's not to say that it will go well for you if you decide not to do that. Because
life is life.
Right. Because I be saying no to stuff because I just know I don't want to create a certain dynamic. And like, I'm sure sometimes that annoys King because he's more of a keep the peace kind of guy. So he's like, why can't you just do what I asked you to do the way I asked you to do it when I asked you? And I'm like, because if I do it the way you asked me to do it, when you say you want to do it, even if it has no utility, then it's going to create a dynamic that is not sustainable. And I'm flaky.
Don't set us up for failure.
Like it's either I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna do the thing the way you told me to do, even though I hate every single second of it, and then 2 years in I'm out of here because I'm a bounce. I'm not I'm not gonna stay if I'm hating every moment. So I'm gonna either do that, or I can be honest about my capabilities and try to compromise, or I can do it for like 2 days and then stop.
Yeah, that's tough.
So
but that's real.
I'm very honest about it because so sometimes, unfortunately, I mean, he hates it, but I'd be like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But I'll tell him why I'm not gonna do it. And then sometimes he glaze over and he be mad because I said no. And I'd be like, okay, well, next.
That's dope though. I mean, but everybody's got to work out their path. I just think there's a lot of people that are in relationships where they honestly, genuinely do not want the other person. Like you said, it's a person of convenience.
Yeah, they just
it's harder. It's harder to get any acquiescence from somebody that really doesn't want to be with you. It's just like, I got to put up with you. It's like the job you don't really enjoy. It's like that kind of thing.
And that's the thing. I've always been the type to quit a job.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like maybe there's like something into like you need to look into look at the whole person that you're considering being with, because like I stay at jobs if they're fine, but I will fucking quit a job. Like it doesn't matter. So maybe it's something about just a personality leaning that some people say, you know, maybe people need to stop looking for certain things. I don't like people who are loyal regardless. I don't seek that out. No. I find those make the worst employees. I think DJ Dose or somebody up earlier was talking about people at work who can't take feedback. Like I manage people. I already know people act the same there that they do in relationships. You can't tell them nothing. They can't
personality traits.
Yeah, they hate the job every fucking day. They come in and do bare minimum. They ain't gonna say nothing about nothing, but then they just salty all the time. Like they be doing the same stuff in their relationships.
No, that's facts.
Yeah. So just look at the people more, I would say.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that was all of the. I can't believe Baby Nova used to cheat. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's a dog.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good combo. So yeah, I don't want to be perceived. Maybe there need to be a shirt.
Okay.
Don't perceive me today.
Don't perceive me.
Yeah.
Got something I kind of want to show you.
The exact opposite of what you want.
Right. You could perceive this shirt. perceive these nuts.
Hold up. Give me a second.
Let's not put deep cut social justice warrior terms on clothes.
But then I can spell them wrong. I need to do a contraction so I can use it wrong, like Dr. Cheyenne. I need to do something like that. Oh my god!
I'm trying to see if it's actually this timestamp. No, that's not it.
Man, is we getting the dress and impress shit on or what, man?
Man, you could get 8 up.
53.
You ain't on shit, fam.
Hey, because when we get off here, I'm gonna get some little food. I'm trying to play Squid Games too. I'm trying to play Mingle.
Do they got the full game on there? Like the full?
They got the full Squid Games, but then they also just have Mingle as the game. And I want to play. We could do the full one, but I want to play Mingle because that's the merry-go-round one where you got to run in the rooms.
Yeah,
I'm trying to do that.
We got to play the one on. You got to play the one on Fortnite.
I'm not getting on fucking Fortnite.
Dude, you'll play Roblox.
Roblox eats.
Mm-hmm.
But you won't play the games on Fortnite.
No, Fortnite sucks. Roblox is like a collection of games. It's not a game.
Fortnite is the same thing.
Boomer.
I got the wrong link.
I'm saying it's the same idea. It's a
You can't shame me into playing Fortnite.
If I find a dress to impress on Fortnite, because I know they got some kind of thing.
I'm not putting Fortnite on my Xbox.
You trash.
Is
right.
Okay. I had the wrong link.
Conversation. You done found this whole conversation. You think I care about you calling me trash, nigga?
Yeah, I know you ain't trying to be perceived as trash.
You can perceive me as trash. Call me
so
hefty.
now I got the right 108.53. Let's see.
Roblox is like an arcade. Oh man.
I just want to see if this dude will trigger you. See me talking flavor.
Oh Lord, he didn't try to find. It ain't Cleveland. He undefeated.
Shout out to my nigga Clee.
Not shout out to what's his? He got a name. Functious. Cleveland Functious.
Cleveland Functious. Yeah, I miss that dude.
I don't. He probably gonna pop back up in 2025.
You do miss that dude.
He waiting on Trump.
My boy, Jason Whitlock.
Oh Jesus!
I just want you. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Like the way he talks about this woman, it just feels out of pocket. Let's go.
In Emmanuel Acho, they'll get promoted. People with big cans and some peanut butter skin, Joy Taylor, they'll get opportunities, and you'll be sitting there like, how? Why? What? How did we build a system? We've had sports talk for years and decades. And then all of a sudden, everybody just figured out that when it got to TV, that in order to have sports talk, there must be an Instagram model sitting at the desk on the panel directing the conversation. Oh, there has to be a little Asian Mina Kimes doll talking NFL football in order for the conversation to have that diversity, equity, include. No, man, they're spreading sexual immorality. They want you thinking with your penis all the time. Because if man thinks with his penis all the time, he's going to bow to women.
He kind of low-key spitting though.
Now he is like low key. Is the way he was talking about. We talk about Joy Taylor, a big can.
Yeah, I was like peanut butter cans. What he called an Asian girl? I said, oh no.
Yeah, a little Asian doll, Mina Asian doll Kimes or whatever he said. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, he snapped.
I'm about to say because there's too many men out here who do everything based off it and worshiping vagina. I mean, I feel like that's the undercurrent to the whole conversation we had because low key, it didn't trigger me in any way. What he said, it just triggered me because I'd be like, man, men be willing to do
anything,
suffer to have some.
Throw your life away. Throw your life away.
But I mean, because a lot of what we talking about is men just suffering in silence so they could keep some tepid puss around.
Yeah,
because y'all are suffering.
Tepid puss.
Women are suffering. Like the experience of being with a woman is a suffering process. Like you have to endure a lot.
Come at it the way y'all talk about.
I mean, even the healthy way is suffering.
Life is suffering. Shit.
Like I'm gonna be straight up with you. Being 35 plus, you're gonna be. Yeah, being 35 plus. I'm talking to the demographic. Being 35 plus, you definitely coming into some suffering on the relationship level with a woman. Because I don't know whether he's trauma filled, depression, having frequent flyer at the therapy session, having as chicks think that we supposed to just store all of this. I can't even ask you something about your hair because it might bring up something you've been internalizing since you was 8.5. Something when I didn't even know you. You know what I'm saying? Or the way that I want you to look is going to go against your natural feminine or feminist instincts and all this other shit. Or if you like me all the way up until I have a damn opinion on how I want you to look sometimes, or how I want you to change.
Let's go.
So this ain't. This sucks that women have to get perceived.
Nihilistic.
Yeah, I know, but it's also tough to hear women have to be perceived like that. There should be a layer of comfortableness when they go out in the street, out in the world, to where they don't have to be perceived a certain type of way, or seen, or thought of, or categorized as a type of woman, regardless of who they're dressing for, right? You kind of want them to leave them to their own devices. Let them dress. Drag them when they ain't looking, because they ain't no holding no woman accountable. So just wait till they leave and then talk shit about them behind their back, like everybody else do.
She thought she ate.
Like everybody else do, like a normal person does.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but if it takes two, if you're half of the dynamic, sometimes once again the perceptions that you come into it with guide the ship more than people want to believe, I think.
Yeah.
So if that's the view you have of it, if there's no one who is disqualified from being in a relationship in your mind, I think that's also a big problem. Like there's people who like. It's weird because people are like super picky, but then not really.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
explain. Superficially picky.
Yeah, superficially picky. But then I know a lot of men. I think this is more of a man thing. I think women.
No standards.
I know a lot of men don't really have anybody that at the is disqualified. Not a person you've met. Yeah. I think a lot of people like, oh, I'm talking to this girl in my face. Yeah. She has this going on right now.
Yes.
And so I don't like that. I think people can do that. But I feel like before you ever date anybody, before you ever see a person, before you're ever sitting across from a table, there should just be certain stuff that you just know you can't fuck with. And I do feel like a lot of men just don't have it.
Yeah.
I think they take it. They're like, it'll be a case by case basis. But then, like, once the case is in your face, the puss is also in your face. So then it's kind of like, I can let this slide. Slide. So I just feel like I don't know. A lot of it just feels like people are just like, whatever comes my way, I'll try it out.
Yeah.
And some people shouldn't be tried out. I really just think
absolutely
temperament wise, some people shouldn't be tried out for you. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I think our feeling of safety in the world makes us feel impervious to anything y'all can pull out. Like, like because y'all aren't really a physical threat perceived. We don't perceive y'all as a physical threat. We let that
whatever.
Yeah.
But then we're an emotional threat.
You're an emotional, but you're also a physical threat.
Right.
Like you sleep beside this person. You allow this person to fix your plates. Like men get poisoned and men get stabbed in their sleep. So it's like
I think once y'all get in it, then you feel that anxiety.
Yeah.
Like you feel that underlying tension and fear and anxiety. Once you're in, now once the person is here and you're like with them, you're like, oh, I really can't trust this person. I really can't trust this person. I really can't trust this person the whole time. And it's just like, I don't know. But I know a lot of people exist that way, not just men, but I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
forgive me. I once again can't relate. I could not be in a marriage with someone I just inherently didn't trust. Like, I don't know.
That's how it be though.
I don't trust he can cook no rice, but I don't even trust that he would try. But generally I trust him, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
You should have a general trust in a person, but I don't think there's a lot of that going around these days.
Man, y'all be like, you know what? I'll try it.
Yeah.
Anything that come y'all way, y'all willing.
I think it goes back to that survival thrival thing you talked about. Like, too much of our mindset is predicated on survival.
Yep.
Like, if I can survive it, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, which brings in that safety piece I was just talking about. Well, I can survive her. You know.
Yeah,
I can survive her.
Like.
Yeah.
Why would you? I'm trying to be so confused. I be listening to it. I would just be like, why are you choosing to be? I don't know. It's just
no. I'm with you. I am closer to your mind. I'm too pain averse, problem averse, conflict averse. I have too many aversions. Like, way too many.
Just averse.
Averse, yeah.
And I'm too dialed up on the overthinking and conflict. Not averse. What's the opposite? The other
inclined.
Stuff. Yeah. Confrontationally inclined to be with someone who is that always in survival mode, because I think I would trigger them to the point of explosion.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I couldn't be with somebody like that, I think, because I would just trigger them and they would probably go upside my head or something. Great. Yeah.
It'd be bad. But
so, anyway.
I will save, I had a bunch of questions and stuff, but I will save that. Might do something else.
Yeah, we had more people in the chat than I thought we would. So we had a lot of other feedback coming in.
Yeah, that was cool too. Yeah. That's cool. Yellow.
Any last thoughts?
Impress or Squid Games?
He finna get ate up.
Gonna get this work, blood.
Bree is sadistic. I am not.
Finna get this work, blood. That's all I know.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm an alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an alpha female, so
Let's
it is
go.
what it is.
All right.
Alpha female.
Close us out.
I did that for Yellow. Great conversation by Rashawn. It was great chatting with you guys. I don't know what else to say. I'm on my channel that I just streamed on for the first time, and they claim it's been a year. Who's counting? So follow me over there. I might pop up soon. Shout out to everybody that popped up in the channel. Lois probably gonna cuss me out, so I'll get y'all
Lois,
everybody, the whole family pulled up. She ain't gonna get me. She gonna be talking about y'all.
Get her.
She ain't gonna be talking about y'all because y'all.
She couldn't talk about it. We love Lois. We need her to love us.
She's gonna talk about y'all because I am.
She got our back. She ain't worried about us. She ain't worried about you.
A-okay, guys. Okay, but anyway, y'all have a good night, and I don't know if we're gonna be back. So bye.